From the very first day I took office, our administration has waged the most successful war on crime in American history. Last year, the murder rate saw the single largest decline ever recorded, falling to the lowest level in 125 years. We've reduced the fentanyl coming across our border by 60%, from Washington to Memphis to New Orleans to our southern border. We are restoring law and order to America. Now we're taking our next big step to defend public safety in America. At my direction, the Department of Justice is beginning what we're calling the Model Cities Initiative to slash violent crime in major metropolitan areas all across our country. In selected cities, the Department of Justice will provide $300 million in grants to hire police officers, modernize equipment, provide training, and improve law enforcement. This historic funding will go to confronting substance abuse, preventing youth crime, and combating repeat offenders. In short, we're committed to making historic investments in improving the quality of life of city residents nationwide. For the next 90 days, any city or local government representing a population of more than 100,000 people can apply to take part in this exciting new program. It's amazing. Tell your local representatives to apply now by going to www.justice.gov/grants. With your help, we will put more police on our streets, and we will put dangerous criminals behind bars where they belong, and we want to keep them there. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good time. You're amazing people.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Table of Titans. It is Thursday again, and no name on the show, just the date today, because we got 1 month until we come up the 4th of July as we start getting ready for the 250 celebrations. Just 10 days away as it gets started on Sunday for Trump's birthday out there. I think it's next Sunday. A week from this Sunday's coming up there, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. And crime and corruption is being exposed, especially what Dr. Oz and the rest of the guys have been doing. And a little raid in Southern California, one of the most ritziest places on the planet right there, Newport Coast. And a whole lot more to get into. Testimonies. We got screaming. We got people leaving testimony out there for the Congress lady. I can't remember her name, but it's been fun and exciting. I got Space Shot and Tron with me. Tron, what is going on, sir?
What's up, guys? Yeah, so much going on between now and the last time. But again, follow the money, follow the money. Kash Patel said it a few times, so many others. And now we're approaching this summer of love. And remember what happened last time, Rico. They're going to find out where the money comes from. They're going to find out where the funding comes from, and no funny business moving forward. And look at what's happening in LA over here with this mayoral race. It goes on forever, dude. Keep on voting, keep on mail-in voting. They even have helicopters escorting the mail-in ballots across the state. Like, what is happening? And again, little pockets of resistance. This is what we sort of need moving forward in order to show the entire world what we're up against, man. Again, New York, Chicago, LA, and a handful of other areas. But we have to clean it up between now and November, and we're seeing wins each and every day, sort of leading up to that November. So again, have faith, be encouraged. Once November hits, we win the midterms, and then it's a 2-year run, a sprint to the finish. And then we'll see what happens after that. But so far, so good. Acting DNI is in force. So a lot of things happening. Hit that thumbs up and let's rock and roll, baby.
Let's go. Mr. Space Shot, sir, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Doing good, and I'm cruising right along on the interwebs at rapid pace, thanks to your addition to the Space Shot Technology Fund, or support system, I guess we can call it. But yeah, and I'm showing it on my side, dude, an image that Rdoc had dropped the other day, because I thought it was pretty funny. Hopefully you didn't have it for a show thing, but...
he probably did.
California announcing they finished counting the votes. Ronald Reagan has won the 66.
We'll get there. I got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to get into.
Heck yeah. I mean, dude, it's
can't
just
ruin the punchlines on the beginning, dude. Seriously?
I didn't know.
How long we've been doing this show? How many years?
Yeah, but
how many years?
Some goes in, some goes out. In one ear, out the other. But yeah, how's it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is very dasting out there, and all sorts of things are being exposed on both sides of the coin. And we do need to make note of these things on both sides and call out any type of funny business that we see on any side, right? Because we don't carry water for people or any family members, but we'll see some of that stuff later. I won't get you on that one, Hulk, but always going to give a big hat tip to Country and the folks over there running Liberty-Based News, formerly the Patriot News Crew, where we all got this shindig off the ground roughly almost exactly 8 years ago, maybe plus another month or so. But yeah, lots of craziness going on out there, dude, and can't wait to see what we got in store for us this fine evening.
Well, I mean, it is the beginning of the month, and it is Pride Month again, guys.
Yes.
You guys just so surprised there. Look, Sesame Street's out there posting their stuff out there. We only got about 9 or 10 NFL teams who did not post anything in regards to LGBTQ Pride Month out there. So I figured we might as well just start out with that.
Let's hurl.
Oh, jeez.
Gross.
Yeah, Pride Month and the Sesame Street AIDS war. Yep.
Isn't it amazing where we are and where we used to be? The last 4 years, man, under that Sleepy Joe, we had all that all over our White House. It was absolutely disgusting. They replaced Easter, all kinds of traditions and holidays and religions. And now we have America 250. We have, Boss rocking and rolling. And who watches Sesame Street anymore? That they still do that? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's still out there. Unfortunately, they're out there still supporting it. So yeah, we'll get into some of that more of that 250 stuff once we get in there. Other side of that, it is President Trump's 500th day in office. Did you realize that today, Tron?
No, that's good. I mean, that's awesome with the numerology. They're 500 on the 250th, and we're approaching nuclear reactor reach critically in the United States. Nuclear reactor, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It's something that I picked up from the Atomic Energy because they're doing a whole bunch of small reactors and those sort of things and developing new technology and fusions all over the place. We'll get to some of that stuff a little bit later there, but just wanted to see if everybody's locked in here, right? Are you locked in there? Trust the plan? Good morning.
I never heard of that before. Good morning, trust the plan. I mean, Space Shot, this is awesome. This comes after the other one of what was the other one that they had? I mean, they had it like one after another. But yeah. Department of War guys, trust the plan, locked and loaded. And like I said, we are in an amazing position to do amazing things. So again, we just have to have faith, be encouraged, and DJT giving us the you, we the people. That's us.
Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I just wondered.
Yeah. Now, what's the timestamp on that one? Because there was like 2 or 3 of them, right?
It's on the first, right in the morning.
Oh, 8:18.
8:18.
You check that one, Tron? Because the one I had the other day was on the May, apparently 26th,
yeah,
9:49 in the morning, which said, "Good morning, Patriots are in control," and then 9:49 post that says, "Trust the plan, full control." So I thought that was interesting. I didn't get a chance to check out 8:18 yet, though, to be honest.
Yeah, and then ran by this. Well, just a couple of these that I just find interesting. When do birds sing?
Yeah, and then we have Bolton that just got arrested. We had we have Comey on ice. We have the SAVE Act that again was failed. So it almost seems like everything is coming to a head, and the House of Cards has to come down. All that peacefulness is going to turn into a storm.
He's the first one underneath the post. That's just funny that I see.
There. Dude, I got a funny one on Trump's Truth Social. I just happened to be live and I was doing it. And I literally just wrote the word first because it's the only thing I could get in. I'm like, I don't know what else to put. I can't add a picture. I was the first. It was like
and I just kind of thought that was interesting right there. Trust in Trump. Just sit back and relax. It's all it will all work out in the end. It always does. Trust in Trump, and then just that little photo right there, little kind of trust in Trump type of thing. So because there's a lot of disinformation, there's a lot of corruption, a lot of exposure, and we don't know where a lot of this stuff is going to land for another couple of years. So it's got a long road to go and a whole bunch of temporaries in the way. Wanted to throw this thing at you guys just to see what you guys thought out here, because he's getting tested every day.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to follow up on her question behind me. If the president's in such perfect health, why does he keep going back in for checkups?
I think he likes the results. He does really well. He aces the test every single day, and I do actually believe that he is curious to make sure everything is going in the right direction. He's a very meticulous person in so many ways that are often underappreciated. But for him to want to know all the numbers and keep on top of them, it's the same reason he calls people at odd hours, because something's on his mind. He wants to deal with it. Yes, in purple. Yes.
So he's getting tested every day by the White House physician to make sure he's cognitively good and medically all those for fun. I just thought that was interesting. He's doing it every day.
Well, no, this is setting the stage to get Congress to get off their ass and start going through these cognitive tests, drug tests, alcohol tests, all sorts of stuff. I mean, Mitch McConnell is a robot by now. I mean, he's got like that ventriloquist hand up the ass. It's way too long. Pelosi's making way too much money, and Boss is waking up every morning as Melania has a cigarette, and he goes down and gets tested. Dude, I love it.
Oh God! And Hulk, just really quickly, that one that you showed there, the White House, where he says basically, I thought that was actually an interesting one because for me it goes someplace. Yes, that one right there. If you look up the post number, it happens to align to 1709, which happens to be a picture of Mark Zuckerberg saying, "Oh shit, Q was right. Now here comes the pain." And at the very bottom says something big is about to drop. Boom.
We've been waiting for it to drop for a while, so we'll keep waiting.
Sure.
Now your Delta's approaching in October, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to punch you right in the head, Tron. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, we wanted to make a quick stop over here about the Obamas have their monstrosity set to open here. I think it's this weekend where they're going to have the huge gala out there that all the NGOs are buying all the tickets up there because nobody else was. So they're going to have the rich and famous and have the full on opening and, do their whole, lather and gather type of thing out there. So that's coming up there. But yeah, that doesn't look like
face up. Yeah, they must have gotten Mad Magazine or some sort of that is awful.
This is what happens when you hire a DEI artist. Not the best, just somebody who's going to fit the
and
bill.
when you
And
marry a
that's what
man,
got.
you get AIDS. You slowly start to look like that. It's pretty accurate, actually.
I don't see no golden tallywhacker here.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
accurate.
underneath if you look. Yeah.
That model's not accurate for sure. And dude, that post was actually pretty hilarious, dude. The entire presidential center has been a DEI nightmare. Gave contracts to diverse suppliers, hired DEI construction workers. Cost exploded from 350 to 830 million. Now they're fighting a $40 million racial discrimination lawsuit filed by one of his own DEI hires. I mean, you can't sum it up better than that. It's like, oh, you want DEI stuff? There you go.
Oh, look,
Like a prison.
artwork. Oh, isn't that nice? Just look, artwork right out in front of the thing. I have
It's
no
the
idea.
same one in St. Louis. It's that arc.
It's a
Is
knockoff.
this one's just bent a little bit. Is that what we're saying?
Looks
a
like
little bit melted. It
bamboo.
can burn in the sun.
Oh, yeah. Their idea of art's a little bit different than most people's out there. Let's get into some important stuff. Tron, you ready to read this one?
Screwed up art.
Let's go. What the F timeline are we on? Someone called me the MAGA Whisperer, and I'll gladly take the title. This is from Hunter Biden, allegedly. Left, right, D, or R, we all want the same things. We're being divided on purpose by the Epstein file oligarch class because as long as we're at each other's throats, they got fat and rich off of our misery. The second we figure out we agree on more than we disagree, they're done. Love your neighbor, be yourself, radical honesty. No F's to give, no F's taken. Everything else is just noise. But still F Jake, Brick, Tamlin, Tapper on any timeline. So Hunter Biden talking about timelines. He's starting to see the light. And it's almost like he's enjoying a great awakening. He's like one of us now. Maybe he'll start dropping where we go one, we go.
No, you stop that. I fucking,
That's
you'd
how
have
we
to
have
fall
to
off
make
the
the
planet.
timeline complete. It has to get weirder. This is only the start.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I want the Scooby-Doo ending. Can we do the doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo already? Can we get to that part?
Yeah, I mean...
Here, also ran by this great comment coming from him.
Trump hasn't made a public appearance in 8 days. Look, now he's a researcher. This after an unscheduled visit to the hospital because he likes getting checkups. Thank God Jake Tapper, as or as I like to call him, the Brick Tamlin of his generation, is on the case hunting down clues in a book about my mom's experience as First Lady 4 years ago.
What else? I just got a couple of these. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you can see right here, he's giving the responses. You can ask me anything you want. It's like doing a question and answer out on Twitter.
Patreon soon. Watch. He's going to do some kind of...
Yeah, here's another one. You can read that for everybody.
Do I look like I'm part of the elite oligarch class? This was taken at a Super 8 motel off of I-95, by the way. And dude, that Marco Polo account went in and was like, yeah, there it is right there, dude. It was like,
survey says?
Yeah, it says you weren't there, dude. According to that picture, they had all the information. So someone's running this account. Someone's or I don't necessarily think it's Hunter, but whatever the case is, he's
posting stuff directly from the Channel 5 news stuff. That's how people started associating him with that he started talking about it first, that he was going to be doing the interview, and then he showed up on the interview on that Channel 5 or whatever it was over in Hawaii or no, it's actually, that was Africa. But anyways, a bunch of interesting shit going on the internet. Let's get a little what Boss had to say about the whole situation really quickly.
I have a question about Hunter Biden. He's on social media now, and he has suggested, maybe joking, I don't know, that he could run for president in 2028. How would he do, Hunter Biden, in a 2028 Democratic primary?
Well, you would think that, past has something to do with winning an election, and I would say his past is not the greatest. Where's Hunter? Remember my Where's Hunter? It became the #1 shirt anywhere in the world for about 3 weeks. I'm not going to say Pat. I'm sure, hey, if the guy from Maine can do well, I guess Hunter could do well too, because the guy from Maine is a basket case. And I would say worse than him is the one from Texas. That looks like Alfred E. Newman. I would say that if he can do well, maybe Hunter can do well. I'm not sure. It'll be pretty close as far as I'm concerned.
I thought that was interesting where he brought up the Hunter become the hunted type of thing. So interesting. But yeah, no presidency for him.
What do you think, Hulk? To Tron's point, we have to kind of go back in history a little bit. And I'm not saying that, I think he's going to go full-fledged anon or whatever. But there was, to a different one of Tron's point, there was a very weird scenario in the whole, grand timeline of things, right? So when we take these last, say, 10 years, right? It just so happens that his laptop, hard drives, this, that, and the other, and his sister's diary happened to go public, right? All within what? 3 months, 6-month period or whatever it was. So why did that get out?
Right before the election.
Yeah. Was it purposeful? Did they do that on purpose?
October surprise, I thought.
Dude, it seemed like during that time period, guys, we had that idea that he was kind of working behind the scenes and not as a double agent necessarily, but just completely spilling the beans, because you don't get that sloppy as the most powerful, man in the country, as a president of America, to have a son be that foolish and be that sloppy. So another piece of that puzzle of quote unquote, it has to be this way. You have to show them. I mean, it's like a soap opera. This is how America has to keep attention. We have to have it entertaining while everything kind of sucks. And this is the way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if they need a little bit more money for that family wealth that they don't have generationally. So yeah, get out there and make some money. That's one thing I think Hunter's been doing to do some of these interviews, is to make a little money there. So we'll see what happens with him. I mean, when you throw people out like him or Nick Fuentes, they do attract attention. They do have some sort of political pull, small as it might be. But he's very, he talks very well, and I think he could hold a conversation with most of the people out there. Some of the stuff I've heard come out of his mouth, I've been surprised and be like, wow, he knows a lot more than I ever expected about him. So he wasn't smoking crack the entire time.
It's just 80% of the time. just
speaking
days
of this,
that end with Y.
Yeah, exactly. Here, go off to the other side. Remember, Bolton's pleading guilty. So yeah, his indictment looked pretty bad. I just wanted to throw a couple of clips out him talking about Trump. Yeah.
Republicans used to believe that not prosecuting criminals led to more crime. The answer here is take the politics out of the decision And in this case, proceed with the prosecution and do the same for anybody else who does anything even remotely like it. Just read the indictment and ask yourself, if the government can prove what they allege here, shouldn't this man go to jail? The simple fact he had the documents, for any reason or no reason, should subject him to prosecution.
Yeah, just any documents. You're not supposed to happen because he's not the president, and can't declassify anything at any time you really wanted to, even while speaking it. But John Bolton over here, yeah, he's okay with that, prosecuting the president. But now he's going to plead guilty.
Yeah, it's just like that letter I think you brought to last week's show, where there was one, because I think they're going to have another one for this week that I won't want to step on. But we have another whistleblower that essentially said the same thing. What was he? He was basically saying that they were concerned about Mar-a-Lago, right? And so, like, to your point, Trump can just look at a site and look at the pile of photos or pictures there and say, declassified, boom. This jerk-off can't. And so I don't think a vice president could either, Joe Biden. And it's interesting that that whole conversation, he didn't bring up Biden either. It's only just about him and Trump, the executive who has that power. Too bad.
So would they get pleaded guilty for mishandling classified documents? Here's looking at you, Mr. Biden. It's plead guilty, carries a statutory range of 0 to 60 months. Probably is what he's going to get, is 0 up to 5 years in prison and a $2 million fine. And then they might be going after the book money too, because that's how you launder a lot of book sales that way. Easy to get laundered money that way. So interesting things going for Mr. Mustache himself. And even our Perry over here says former top aide for John Bolton tells me he's not surprised Bolton copped a plea deal. I'm not surprised. The indictment was devastating. So yeah, it looked pretty good.
Well, he made it sound like it wasn't, of course.
Yeah. You can read that for everybody.
John Bolton pleads guilty, sentenced to 5 year imprisonment at SeaWorld. Dude, I didn't
He
even
fit
see
right
that one
in, dude. Mr. Wall, you want this one? What?
Cuckoo.
Oh yeah, let's keep going. What else do we got into it? Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the SPLC issues. Or SP, yeah, I said that right over there on that side. So yeah, some of the things that they were talking about. So not only did they not want you to work there because, you know, they're racist white supremacists that they're paying for, they wanted him not to work every day. So they're going to pay him $70,000 a year to stay home and do racist stuff, which in the beginning he told them, but I really don't want to do this anymore. So they gave him more money and he's like, okay. So yeah, they got $30,000 to build a replica cross and then burn it, and you know, for their expenses of going to Home Depot. I'm serious. All this stuff they have pulled out, and they're putting all this stuff together on where they purchase this stuff, who is putting together. So this superseding indictment that just had come out is very, very interesting. Create new chapters of extremist groups, recruit new individuals into extremist groups, make donations in extremist group leaders, purchase materials for cross burnings. Oh, it's just so great. Yeah, put it on the list for Home Depot, honey.
Wow.
Purchase materials to make Ku Klux Klan robes and hoods. Yeah, this is what they're paying for them. Yeah, we need a seamstress to make this stuff. Look. Pay everyday living expenses, which allows the Fs to focus on their extremist groups rather than seeking other employment. They're just an equal opportunity, guys.
I thought we were an extremist group. We're far-right extremists. Where's our money, dude? Where's our robes? Where's our materials, dude? Like, we don't have anything. We're pure.
We don't even get the $7,000 DM post.
Yeah.
They don't like us whatsoever. Thank God we're not Strickland for the
Dude, every time that dude gets a friggin' belt, he just needs to shut up, like serious. And every time he goes,
we'll get to that. We'll get there. We'll get there. He's in the shuffle.
He's that dude. He is that dude.
So superseding indictment, we got additional 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of false bank statements, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering and forfeiture. They're taking buildings and stuff, offices and equipment and shit. They ain't goofing around here. So yeah, it doesn't look very good for them the way that this is going here at this point. So the superseding indictment is tacking on a whole bunch of personal items and stuff. So we're going to have to wait a little bit before we shake out to see whose name's on the top of the list of whose stuff they're taking. But that's very, very interesting. Oh yeah, little tidbit over here we wanted to get into. F-37, a member of the leadership chat for the Charlottesville rally in 2017, made racist posts under the SPLC's employee supervision, arranging transportation and to others to attend the rally. They paid that person $300,000 for that, just for doing some of this stuff to get these people out there to ready to go, get on a bus and go protest over there in Charlottesville. $300,000.
$300,000. I gotta say, that sounds like a lot of money, but it worked. It was worth it for their political and how long they used Charlottesville. Dude, they basically just copped to Charlottesville being a hoax like the beginning of this year, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
9 years, 10 years later.
I think they got their $300K worth for sure.
Yeah, 2017. Wow, that's so crazy that happened way, way back then. What else do we want to get into? Here, you want to read this one too? Some of these are absolutely great.
Sure.
Shell companies.
Absolutely. The FBI has SPLC by the cojones, the balls, the huevos. SPLC used fake companies, including one named, oh God, quote, CIA, to secretly funnel donor money to violent extremists. Fictitious entities created by top SPLC officials, high-level employees, including the person who became Chief Financial Officer, Employee 1, and the Director of the Intelligence Project, Employee 2, allegedly opened or modified bank accounts at real FDIC-insured banks in the names of fake companies. Oh, my God. The shell list includes I'm not going to say ABC. All right, Center Investigative Agency, CIA, Fox Photography, Northwest Technologies, Northwest Tech, Tech Writers Group, Rare Books Warehouse, Imagery, Inc., J&J Electronics, Kelly's Marine, Turner Personnel, all fake. These entities were never incorporated, had no real employees, and conducted no legitimate business. Purpose? To secretly route donors' tax-exempt money to the Fs, the paid extremists, without donors knowing it.
Yeah, they need help writing stuff, right? They need some writers and stuff, and then somebody's going to write a book. We're going to definitely need a book warehouse, right? Right, and then if we're going to print some signs, right? Imagery Inc. We definitely need something there because we're doing signs and all that, and electronics for those bullhorns and communications and all that. Not sure where we're getting over at the Marine, maybe boats and stuff. So I'm just thinking on the list of things that helps them facilitate their operation of writing.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you know what this reminds me of too? And this could have came from that because they were probably working with FBI. But remember that post? There was one specific post back in the day that they cited, and they were like, "See this? This was on. I don't even know if it was 4chan or 8chan at the time. They're like this racist comment, and I think it was about Israel. But the post on the thing where it says like the name, it said "you" in parentheses. So that means that they took the screenshot of it, and then they showed it to us because the FBI said, we took the screenshot of this post and showed you guys how racist this is. But the post on it said "you," meaning they made it. So we've been seeing this type of manufactured crap for a long time, but it's just good to see we finally have it on a charging sheet and an indictment. I'm loving this.
So more stuff to come. It's only a few weeks into the case, and discoveries coming out more every week. So just wait for this thing to hang out. More to come on that one because that's not ending. As we go into more of the fraud stuff that's happening around the United States over here. So Todd Blanche announced he's charging 14 defendants accused of stealing $50 million through multiple fraud schemes. This is over in Ohio, kicking down doors and doing more arrests over there for the COVID relief programs themselves. So they had the entire team out there, Dr. Oz, the whole group. No JD Vance, he's off busy doing other stuff, but we do have a cache and everybody else out there. Key tidbits over here. FBI just released their most wanted fraudsters list. Yes, they're going to be updating these as these people start going down. 8 individuals responsible for more than $1.29 billion in fraud. $1.29 billion in fraud. 8 people. Holy shit! I thought that was million when I was putting this together.
Like all those drug movies from the past, like Pablo Escobar, Narcos. The hardest part was trying to hide the money. Like, that's a ton of cash. This makes you think that it's bigger, dude. This is like mob action. This is cartel. This is not just these people. This is a network. And again, proving the point, if it can work at this level, imagine on a global level known as the deep state. They exist. This is crazy, dude. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think it was funny though. The Saturday, me and Space Shot are doing the show, and we're talking about the learning center and all these people getting arrested. He's all, see, that's how they do it, dude. They just go ahead, these illegals go out there and they do these learning centers and they steal all these money from the government itself. And I go, well, white people do that with like Enron and Bernie Madoff. So yeah, if you think about it.
And to your point though, too, remember they were saying that was one of those guys, I think from Minneapolis, was saying essentially. Correct browsing. Okay, it said essentially, oh yeah, well, you guys are blaming all these, locals here, but it's actually the white people. These are the all right. Look at all these white people, guys. What we got? Rodney Dean Allen and Christopher Burns. I would say John Michael Demetrian, maybe. But other than that, you got out of the 6, 2 white guys. It's all white guys doing all the fraud.
We don't know their ethnicity. They could be Albanian or something. I don't know. Cyberspeed really quickly says, I guess the Rebel tip doesn't show up anymore for crypto. Well, all alerts and everything should. I'll take a look. It's been having issues, and I had to keep logging back into the wallet. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later.
The Rumble wallet.
But I appreciate the tip over there on that side. So yeah. They're all over Ohio over here. So they repossessed a whole bunch of cars and luxury houses and stuff like that. Just the normal things they've been doing in the learning center. Most of the stuff ends up being leases and stuff like that. So they have to end up dealing with the bank itself because the robbers, they're smart. They're not going to throw all their money in these big expensive cars. But yeah, just more things coming in there they got 14 out of that group. What else did we have? This one is in South Carolina albeit South Carolina. Yeah, right here. They actually arrested the plant manager and the HR coordinator for the company itself, including all the illegals that were on property themselves, because it has been said you have to go through and put these people through the ID check. I can't remember what the hell they call it over there on that side. But you have to send them through. And if they come over and saying, hey, we got a tip that you're hiring illegal immigrants, and they go in there, they arrested the plant manager and the HR coordinator on site. So, yeah, they're starting to bust these people for employing illegal immigrants.
Hell yeah, as they should, dude, right? You shouldn't just be taking the illegals away. It absolutely should be the people that are running the place. And, maybe the owners. I'm sure the owners will probably get screwed as well. HR. I'm sure it's going to go up the ladder, but they're not going to get any middle managers, any of those people. I'm doing my job, just keeping my shit. But yeah, the guy up here at the top knows everybody's working where and who's what. So as we continue on, yeah, exactly. On the other side of that is, again, they've asked every single state in the union to turn over information for all the money that they're spending for Medicare on the illegals, whether they're illegal immigrants. So we want regular nationals out there. Just send us the info so we can review it themselves. So Hawaii has held out and says, no, we're not going to give you anything. So I'm surprised California complied. All the rest of the states complied besides Hawaii. Guess what? They got kicked off the system. So they are temporary, not able to collect Medicaid money until they turn over the proper paperwork and agree with the DOJ on said paperwork that they have there. So that's interesting. Every other state said, okay, here you go. Interesting. And it's all
and coming back.
All
what's
over
that?
The place. It's everywhere. All this fraud is absolutely everywhere, dude. But they're only focusing on what? Ohio, Minnesota, California. I don't think they've really even gotten into New York too much, right?
Well, and it makes you realize that there's more to come. Like, it almost seems like this was already investigated. It's already set. Like, we've been sitting on this for 1.5 years or plus, and now this is the moment of execution to actually make this event. And imagine all the money coming back. What are they going to do with that money? It has to go back to the people somehow. They just can't, take it. So this is going to be big for our country. And most importantly, it raises eyebrows to that local level and that national impact. We got to keep it local, and it's everywhere, dude. Like, small town and big town is huge.
Yeah, that's why the Somalis were smart and they took cash and gold. People. Oh yeah, they took it out.
And they documented it all too. Like, they have logs of, bag of X amount of dollars, X amount of millions leaving this country here again and again and again. Ugh. So
That's from the X-ray scanners at the airport that they tracked on how much money went through each one of the scanners. Yeah, they could tell. Other side of that over here back in California, as long as we're talking about total fraud out here, they picked up an Iranian immigrant citizen who lives in a $35 million mansion. It says Orange County, California. This is Newport Coast. This is the same area where Kobe Bryant owned 6 homes, and the wife owns them now. Very ritzy place, dude. We're talking, above Bel Air type of thing, or Beverly Hills. So a lot of money over here. This guy got busted for shipping 250 metric tons of electronic equipment, meaning encryption and networking equipment between 2014 and 2018. Why we're getting around to it right now, I don't have that particular answer for you there, but that's what the reading indictment is stating the group. So we repossessed the house, the cars, everything coming out from our Attorney General Bill. How do you say his last name?
Asaley.
So it's big, interesting things that are happening there as we start to take down a couple of these people that are dancing around here in the United States that think they're safe. This is another shot across the bow, because that's some huge takedown of this particular person as they go through the rest of his particular network. You're buying this guy's cars, and he had baseball cards, just a whole bunch. The dude was living like a king out here in California. I'm not going to point out, but they do go in and talk about how he's laundering the money and moving stuff around inside the United States. So yeah, big fraud thing happening over here in Orange County. So lots of interesting things out there. And of course, we do have Kash Patel hanging out, being there and supporting the rest of the guys with a lot of this fraud, because it seems to be the president's mission now. If we can't do the illegal immigrants, then we're going to prosecute fraud and crime. And I think that we've seen it with the numbers here. Those are some of the positive things. So when Dan and Cash came on in the beginning, they told us that you will see it daily lives. Americans will see it on the streets. And I think we see it. Thoughts?
Big time. And especially they're seeing the cleanliness anyways of DC. And they had to bring in the National Guard, which I guess is there. And they said they're going to have a good presence there even in the summer, and they're actually going to have a summer surge. But yeah, there's a lot of fraud like everywhere. I mean, again, I thought I had a pretty good beat on this stuff, but had no idea it could be this bad. I mean, these people are just doing whatever the hell they wanted. I mean, one guy right there did all that, and it was what was essentially, I think it was 11 months or 13 months. It was right around a year that he did all that fraud. And it's just like everybody was like mosquitoes to the light. Oh, wait, I can go get a piece too? Sign me up.
Well, and then on top of it, you have to remember Boss kind of added it to the narrative that Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon, and they can't also purchase a nuclear weapon. So with all this fraud going around, with all of our money getting shuffled all over this world, is there a potential narrative that Iran was not necessarily building one? Now it's shifting to purchasing one, and that goes back to the sum of all fears. And where does all this money, once it gets accumulated, there could be that possibility. So this is maybe where it's heading. But again, our money needs to stay in America.
Yeah, some serious money out there. I think I got a clip out there. We'll get to it here in a second. Ran by this little clip right here. Says this is on June 2nd. Los Angeles, California. It has been confirmed to be an air transport group for the 166 SOAR Night Stalker helos. Yeah, the same type of group that they went down to Venezuela. A group about 7 little birds and a blackbird are currently low-flying past around the greater LA as I type this. Oh, look, we even got video of it right here.
Either you two guys have that helicopter footage of the Guatemalan center?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's just interesting. So yeah, I mean, you got the helicopters and these are expensive piece of machinery that not everybody's going to have these style little birds with these special blades and super quiet this and that. Like, oh, that was interesting.
Not the vote.
And then Space Shot, would you like to read this?
Sure, but weren't those the helicopters moving the votes back and forth? Dude.
Nope, they're not. So that first video I showed you was on the 2nd. Here is June 4th.
Alrighty. Explosions, weapons simulations, and helicopters may be heard in Pasadena and Irvine during military training. Pasadena and Irvine residents may hear helicopters, controlled explosions, and simulated weapons fire as part of a U.S. military training exercise on Wednesday, June 3rd, continuing into the overnight hours. Exercise will take place in northeast Pasadena until 1 a.m. and Irvine near Alton Parkway and Irvine Boulevard until midnight, city officials said on social media. Both exercises are part of the military's regular training, said Lisa Derderian, spokesperson for the city of Pasadena. Derderian didn't specify where the training was taking place, but Pasadena council member and TDS sufferer Rick Cole said on social media that it was at the former St. Luke Medical Center, 2690 Washington Boulevard. Pasadena police stationed around the perimeter to keep pedestrians and vehicles out, Derderian said. Pasadena officials said anyone concerned call this number. Training in Pasadena began around 8 p.m. with helicopter activity and simulated gunfire. She said she expected another round to take place, but wasn't sure when it would take place. Quote, I was outraged by this, Cole said of the training on social media. The city was informed today and was told not to release information until 5:30. That is absurd and ridiculous and typical of the current administration's contempt for citizens of this country. Hulk, that doesn't seem to jive with me either. They were told not to say you're going to hear helicopters, explosions, and training. We told you all day, but don't tell anybody till 5 p.m.
Well, that's what I was thinking until the news over here is reporting on the 2nd that...
In front of the former St. Luke's Hospital, where the U.S. Army is conducting a training exercise in urban warfare. As you can hear, flashbangs and simulated gunfire are going on. They're going to be going on for the next half an hour, we're told. It's 1 a.m., and we're in the middle of what is normally a quiet residential neighborhood. Homes literally across the street with people trying to sleep. The Ranger helicopter, which is about soldiers on the roof, they're simulating an attack on the building. And this is going to go on for a while. And good luck to the people that have got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning.
So, yeah, they gave the warning like 24 hours afterwards going, hey, we're going to do some more training and stuff, even though they already been doing it a whole 24 hours before under the guise of training. Right?
Dude, it sounds to me like something's going on there that they're going to have to adjust later and CYA cover their ass. Oh, yeah, we got some training. Well, why don't you? Well, yeah, they told us this morning, but they told us not to tell anybody. Well, why would they tell you if not to tell people? But yeah, wait till 5:30. Okay.
Well, remember, it was 9/11. They were also training a certain exercise that day. So whenever you see these, and the school shootings, right? How many school shootings were there when they had a a drill that day? I mean, this is something that we have to keep an eye on, and this is something that we never noticed. Like 15, 20. Around 10 years ago, we started seeing this kind of, preemptive deal before, during, and after. So the fact that we can witness what's going on in real time, this is an advantage. And this is, again, a preventive measure from deep state doing false flags just by identifying what's going on. It's good.
Yeah. So that's the kind of look here, but don't look over here type operation is normally how these training things are pointed out there. So, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens in the next couple of days. They're probably already done and gone. Next story. What else do we got here? Oh yeah. The guy, nice guy out on Twitter that used to give out money in his Twitter feed. Yeah. Space Shot. You want to take this one?
Oh, yes, this is funny. Trump taps Federal Housing Finance Director Bill Pulte as acting director of national intelligence to replace Tulsi Gabbard. I'm appointing Director of Federal Housing Finance Agency and Chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, William J. Pulte, to serve as Acting Director of National Intelligence. William has deep experience managing the most sensitive matters in America, the safety and soundness of markets, and over $10 trillion at Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, a substantial increase from where it was just 12 months ago. During this period, he will remain the Director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and Chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Congratulations to Director Pulte. President Donald J. Trump. Now, Hulk, does he get 3 salaries for this? Because I'd be wanting my 3 salaries, but it's always seems to be this way, right? It's like, all right, who are they going to put in? Oh, Nunez, they're going to put somebody like that. Nope, it's always a curveball. It's always somebody we never would have expected.
What he said is he trusted Bill to take this position itself. So it's not so much that he was qualified for the job, that he knew he could get in there and do the job that the president is asking. Now, whether that's going to be some of the election stuff that he has been talking about in the last day or so, saying that he might be the person to release some of that stuff, and we'll get into some more stuff happening in California or whatnot about their election issues. But just I find this interesting. He is going to be temporary. He is not a permanent person for this particular position, because everybody would have to go through Senate confirmation, and we still have to wait for.
And that's the beauty of this, is that boss can do these acting roles, and it lasts up to 200 and some odd days. I mean, this is brilliant that he's utilizing this, again, the Scaramucci model. And Pulte, you know, he's a loyalist. He's going to come through with whatever basically boss's agenda is. A few maybe in the past, maybe circumvented a few ideas, but this is that moment where we're going to start moving people around, having acting this, acting that. And like, you know, let's see what happens. This is like The Apprentice. We're going to shift it around a little bit and give someone an opportunity that might not have in the past.
Somebody's asking, is it Nunez coming in an advisor and an outside counsel advisor? So not as a cabinet member or somebody that's going to be in Congress or something, but it's more of an oversight kind of thing. How we appointed Ezra Cohen to the 9/11 Commission, kind of like that type of deal. So let's get some comments. Did you want to throw something else out there?
Oh, yes. Just let this play and check the video that I dropped you at the bottom. If you don't have it, you need to look at that for sure.
Pulte is the acting director of national intelligence. There's been a little bit of a pushback from some Senate Republicans. Why do you think, Mr. President, he's the best person for the job?
Well, he's very smart. He's a person who's got high integrity. He's done a phenomenal job at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. You know, you probably have $1 trillion in value there. When he took over, it was much less. And I guess I'm responsible.
Oh, this is the same comment that you had just read earlier itself. Yeah, so I'm not going to replay the whole thing itself. A very smart guy, and you may find out some things about the rigged election. So that's where that comment is coming from. So let's see if they get that investigation that's already supposedly done that John Solomon's been talking about for the last 9 months. I want to see the baby. Anybody else?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got plenty of time left. There's plenty of baby time. It's just not now.
It's baby.
Yeah, how about that? How about that one?
I like that one.
That's awesome. I didn't see Boebert. She been talking.
And dude, all these people have been making out with each other. There's like, you know, swinger parties in Costa Rica, allegedly. Absolutely disgusting. MTG went from whatever she was to even worse. And just get in the car, guys. There's only one way, and that's the boss way. And we're gonna rock and roll till November, and then we're gonna really kick ass from November all the way to 2028, the other November. And everyone's gonna get left behind. Legacies will be made.
So yeah, these two guys were hanging out in Costa Rica for a while. And then they're going to come back as partners into some anti-corruption, something or other. Yeah, her from Colorado, I think she lost her challenger in her general election or whatever. So I think she might be out the door. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember, but I knew it was pretty close for her in her election.
I didn't know if she was talking crap about Trump, if that's why, or just that she lost. And Hulk, you didn't play that video at the bottom, by the way. Look at the bottom.
We're going to get to those. I got a whole bunch of those for them when they do testimony and all those sort of things. So those are coming. Okay, you want to read that space shot?
It's so rude, the Democrat. There's big cheating by the Democrats in California. Votes are all tied up. May not be for weeks. May not be in for weeks. Under investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles. Why the vote counting delay? President DJT. Next one. The Democrats are at it again. They're trying to steal the governor of California primary and the mayor of Los Angeles primary away from the two great Republican candidates. Here we go with the very late and massive numbers of mail-in ballots.
Only 80% of California did mail-in ballots. Yeah, it is that high. That's pretty damn crazy for what it used to be. It's Yeah, they're still counting. It's going to take up to 35 days before they know the totals of any one of these races that are out here. And as you're making the joke, California announces has finished counting the votes for Ronald Reagan has won the 1966 governor's race.
It's so true. It's you. Why are we paying for this stuff though again? Like, wait, why are we? Here's the pitch. You can have these voting machines in there. Well, wait, we used to do it by hand and then have the results every day. Wait, now we pay millions and millions of dollars and we have to wait weeks. Somebody make that one make sense for me?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, everybody's got the meme out there that this country does it in so many hours and they have this many millions of people in their country. And,
even India, dude, third world, disgusting. They shit on the streets and then they bathe in it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I agree with you that we fact checked that. That is true.
Hey, thank you, D Starboy, for gifting out 5 subscriptions to the channel, brother. I do appreciate you.
With the totals here, when Adam Schiff was going against baseball great Dodger Steve Garvey, remember that one night?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just the totals because they do batch estimates and then they put those estimates together and then they quantify them. But when we get into the actual boxes themselves and start looking in them, run the batches together because there's errors or whatever, the percentages they change because they overestimated or underestimated those. That's the shit that they basically start talking about out there. Looking over at Polymarket over here, Mayor Karen Bass is a 67 with a Nina Raman, just this other girl. I have no idea who she is. She looks like this.
Like a noodle.
Just right out of freaking...
She looked like National Geographic, like page 34. Gross. Sorry.
The mail-in votes, yeah, I don't know exactly what they're going at.
She's
with.
going to beat Pratt, right? She's going to take over as second.
Yeah, so no, it'll be Karen Bass and Pratt is probably what it's going to be over.
Not what's happening now. So that's actually November then, right?
Yeah, so they're saying it's going to be Bass and the other lady. I think it's going to be Bass and Pratt, but his numbers are dropping as I checked just an hour or so ago. So the numbers are increasingly getting worse out there as those mail-in ballots come in with Dominion. It's Dominion voting out there. We all know how fractional voting comes in with the mail-in votes, and we do the same thing on Saturday.
Those mail-in ballots can actually have an effect on this poly market. Like, it's amazing how, like, if you really think about the corruption, they can go into these prediction markets and really do damage. We've seen this done before. So that's another thing on top of that. We didn't have these 5, 10, 20 years ago.
They went up 2%, 18. So if we go look at the mayor race over here, let's see.
All a scam.
Javier Becerra is a freaking leading, and it'll be Steve Hilton. So it'll be the Democrat versus the Republican in the runoff, which hopefully we can hold on to that. Tom Steyer doesn't hold on to enough, even though they've been playing him on the news that his numbers are coming up pretty quickly. Same thing with the Indian lady for the mayor's race over there. That would really suck if it's 2 Democrats showing up in that mayor's race, and that he doesn't even get a chance. So. I won't be surprised, but it will suck. Put it that way over there. So numbers are coming together for California. I think what's his name? The other sheriff guy should have stepped out a long time ago.
Chad Bianchi, was it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Chad
How
Bianco.
does this stuff work right here? So if it's buy yes 99.6, you're buying 1, and if you get yours right, you get the 99.6 cents. Am I getting that right? Because I don't know. Dude, this is
Google it.
This is so screwed up, and how fraudulent certain states are. Like my state of Rhode Island. Do you know that I can bet on, say, like an NBA game? I can bet X amount of player will get this many points, more or less, whatever. I cannot, in my state of Rhode Island, for whatever reason, bet, okay, the New England Patriots will beat this team. But no, I can bet whether this guy hits a free throw, whether he hits this, whether he hits that. And it's like, no, you can't bet on this, but you can only bet on these weird things like you see in here and like DraftKings pick 6. It's like you're betting and it's money going in. What does it matter? The way you're doing it. Just fraud.
Exactly. So, yeah, it should be her. Ramen. Going to be up there with Bass. Bass and ramen noodles. It's going to be interesting.
Got to get her out.
And again, you could see what the numbers were like before all the mail-in votes started showing up there, that actual in-person voting and even registers for California. I mean, we're in the millions and Democrats are getting maybe 10 or 20,000. So as we got new votes coming in, most of them were all Republican for new voters out there, which is great for California out there. not enough to hold it together out there. Let's get a little Kevin Cork, and maybe he'll check his watch. I'm not sure if it's ready or yet, but he's surprised about California.
Yeah, especially if you know LA County the way you do, the way I do. 51% in. And when you look at this, I mean, this is shocking. It's the only thing I can think of. Becerra, 29. Look at that. Steve Hilton, 215,000 votes in Los Angeles County. That should tell you a lot about how a lot of people feel in the Southland about how things have been going and what they feel like might be the proper way to move forward. I'm gobsmacked by that number. Just for some perspective, let me share, again, Orange County, this is what you would anticipate, right? 34 to 23, 16 for Tom Steyer. Steyer doing well, by the way, just north of Los Angeles. Let me take you over to Santa Barbara, 28, 25, 22. But even that is a big win. If you're Steve Hilton, you've got to be loving the fact that you're at 25% up in Santa Barbara County. But here's what I really wanted to draw your attention to, if you'll allow me for just a second. I'm going to take you up to just to Northern California, sort of Central California, up to Sacramento County. Look at this. Now, it's a government town. You know that, Trace. So you would expect that Javier Becerra would do very, very well. Hilton well back, but not as far back as some people might have anticipated. But let me share this. If you go in and around Sac, boy, does Hilton really start to pick up numbers, and it's consistent right there, 36 to 23. Pop over to Nevada, again, same thing, 33 to 21. It's going to be a very interesting night for Steve Hilton, and I imagine for a lot of people who didn't anticipate.
See, most of California isn't crazy. I mean, just look at that results in that size of that map on how much is still red. But there's a lot of population in some of those Sacramento and Los Angeles. So good luck. I don't know if we could save ourselves. We just might shoot ourselves in the foot. So yeah, Kevin Cork, I didn't see him check his watch. What else are we getting into? Oh, yeah. I want to throw this comment out there as long as we're talking about election stuff.
Tina Peters is the only nonviolent offender that is on the commutation list. She was sentenced to almost 9 years in prison. And to be clear, she deserved to go to jail. She committed a crime. What's at issue here is how long the sentence is. And I agree with the appeals court that in the sentencing hearing, the judge incorrectly looked at and considered her bizarre viewpoints, her speech, and held her speech against her. She happens to be somebody that's espoused what I believe to be, what anybody objectively would believe to be incorrect opinions, conspiracies, etc. That is not a crime in our country. What is a crime is, along with two other co-conspirators, one got 6 months, one got parole only, accessed after a municipal election, election computers to download software for an independent audit prior to the software being updated. That is a crime. There were 4 felonies. Those felonies will stick with her. She's a convicted felon. And I believe that the 4.5 years that I'm commuting her sentence to, she'll be on parole along with a number of the other 9 next month, is a fair, just, and tough sentence for her crime.
So they are going to basically turn around, and Mike Davis has wrote a criminal referral to the DOJ and Harvey Dillon to launch an investigation in the mistreatment in the prison itself. So not so much the election things, it was the things and stuff they were doing there with the boards of prisons and trying to keep in there. And then, of course, that's going to probably suck in the governor and the Secretary of State. So we'll see what happens with there. But she is free and out finally, because it was the 4th. So it's good to see her come out. She's probably been doing a whole bunch of interviews as of lately. So good things for her, dude. Hopefully she gets some retribution.
Yeah, get some good food in her, gets to relax, and hopefully, comfy bed. And this whole thing was just BS. But the other thing is, and I think her thing is going to get returned, where it says, it's going to be on a record forever. I don't think so. I think hopefully they'll be able to switch it back, because you got to remember too, what she was doing. What they're saying is illegal. She was doing a solid for our country, right? And she knew, because we knew once they were going to do this, quote, trusted build, what that was essentially going to do was wipe the friggin' machines of any evidence. And that's why they had such a stiffy for her, because, well, now she made a copy of it. She has all the records before they did their, quote, trusted build. And then she has a copy of it afterward when it's essentially wiped and there's nothing on there. So all that information. And then they made it seem like, oh, she broke into this thing. It's like, well, if they weren't playing games and trying to keep her from doing her own job, she wouldn't have had to go after it in the manner in which she did. which they made it look like she was like a CIA agent or something, like dun dun dun, you know what I mean, like just craziness.
Yeah, exactly. So this will get interesting. And remember, that was the Attorney General talking about these things that they charged her with. So he is definitely talking about how the court mistreated her in the court case themselves. Let's see what they find out about what happened in jail over there.
Well, and
But
also this is inspiration for also whistleblowers in the back that maybe we're going to go down this route and decided not to. And now that she's going to, hopefully be fully exonerated, this is going to be big. I mean, how can you not go in there if you know the evidence is there and not come out with it? So again, this is a hammer of justice. This is setting the precedent, and we have to hope and wish and pray for the best for Tina and the whole situation. This is going to impact the future.
yeah, I've seen some of the interviews from the up and coming replacement for the governor of Colorado, and he's nothing like the other lady. So we'll see if they give a different change for Colorado. That would be awesome, because he's mentioned this particular situation and how crazy that got to. Just want to make sure over here, guy down in Texas over there is still Beto, but gayer. He's been making the rounds of lately. That's running up against for governor of Texas against Paxton. So we got to be careful. This is their choice, guys, because it is Pride Month. So this is your choice out there. So I thought it was interesting that under the Biden administration, they attacked this particular gentleman down in Texas. And somebody had made the comment out there, why are they attacking him? He's like the least corrupt out of all of them. So now we understand why he's up here and he's going to song and dance and things. So yeah, it's interesting. What else do we got? Oh, Chuck Schumer ended up backing the Graham Planter for the main Congress seat over there. He did come out and did back him, but Poly Markets numbers shows that he's not going to win whatsoever. He took a dive, but this is just interesting because he's Israel type first and going to endorse a guy who's got a known Nazi tattoo on his chest. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting election.
he was Hulk. Remember Chucky Schumer was Mr. Backing the Jews for years, and then when all this stuff happened with the colleges, remember how he started going to the Palestine side? Yeah, dude. I cannot believe I saw this from Schumer either. This is bananas, dude. And now he's backing people with Nazi tattoos.
Well, it's like Soros turning on his own people back in the day, right? I mean, it's the same deal. These people are thieves, they're criminals. They go against their own family. Never go against the family. I mean, cooking medium rare, super rare burgers on a Weber grill that's not even, fired up yet. I mean, come on, man. Chucky Schumer. And the glasses keep getting darker, bolder, and thicker. I noticed that when the bullshit comes out, the glasses. I think Dave News Treason mentioned that. The glasses, they get thicker, they get bullshitter.
Oh, yeah. Just talking because they do that stuff to make them feel softer and give them more of a public appeal. I ran by a video that they were talking about how Bill Gates, shortly after 2001, decided to hire a team of people to make him seem more like a Mr. Roger deal after the event 201. And they had a full team of people and mannequins and testing people what you feel with this shirt and this sweater. And
it's like the mafia, right? Like the mafia, you have to go in, wear a certain tie. You might have a neck brace. I slipped, I fell. I'm an old man. Yeah, that's what they do.
Okay.
Just to make them have a better public appeal after the whole pandemic thing. So yeah, that's happening out there. What else do we want to get into? Let's pass those couple of stories because they ended up being bullshit. Okay, what else are we getting into? Okay, Trump signs the executive order for the border patrol because we do got a new chief out there that's running the whole operation. And then he wants to bring in more technologies for scanning things like nuclear threats coming across the border. They'll be able to scan more of the trucks as they're coming in versus 1 in a million. They'd like to get down to like 1 in 100 if they could scan these cargo containers coming into the United States. Thank you, Philly Q, for the 1 month's gifted subscription. Appreciate that. So it seems like we're spending a lot of time and effort on corruption, the fraud, and then infrastructure, get a lot of stuff done because we're doing a whole bunch of things with coal mines and a whole bunch of other things coming up here very shortly. that I find very interesting out there. But Border Patrol's getting a leg up, but even though they don't have any money, DHS is still thinking about pulling TSA out of Democratic airports here at this point because they don't have the money to fund the entire system. They can only do some of them, so they just said, we'll just drop TSA from the Democratic areas itself. Would that work? I think it would.
See.
You ever been to an airport in a Democratic area? It's absolutely horrible. They're upset you showed up. The bag's always over. They're slow. This is why JetBlue or Spirit, whichever one doesn't exist anymore. And this is why they're going to Delta now. Carnival cruises, no, stay loyal to Royal. Stay loyal to Royal. Let's wrap it all into one, but that's fine.
Exactly. We did have a hunger strike at the immigration center out in New Jersey.
You said Hunger Games at the immigration center. That would be awesome, dude.
It's almost like that, but they played Hunger Games over there, and we're protesting because this is what they're using. The New Jersey area is the one they were talking about for all the protesting that was happening with DHS and all that. So they're using this as the hotbed that they're funneling the money into to keep the racist banter going. So even the people inside the so-called immigration center were on a hunger strike, is what it turned out to be. So they were they brought this out, just showing what they serve every day. They said, "Don't worry, we saw people trading Cheetos for Fruit Loops and stuff. It's not a big issue. These people are lying." So yeah, breakfast pancakes, rice and raisin syrup, turkey deli meat, margarine, sugar, all those sort of things. Fajitas for lunch with grilled onions, Spanish rice, refried beans, and salsa. I mean, not that bad. It's way better than what they're serving on Skid Row.
Dude, do you see the comment on the post? That is friggin' hilarious. At the last one. If detainees are not happy, go back up. I missed it. Up. There we go. If detainees are not satisfied with their dining experience, they're welcome to leave. Yes.
At any time.
Go home. Go to your home. Dude, the second, third country thing that they're doing now, too, I'm loving that. Oh, wait, you're from Guatemala? Yeah, you're going to be going back to Kuala Lumpur. Oh, no, wait, can I go back to my hometown? All right, yeah, we'll send you there.
So, again, they use this particular center for the people they're sending out there to do the protest, to get the 15-minute clips so they could turn them into viral clips out of the internet so then Congress can go over and grill the people all about it. Well, you're the people that are paying for it anyway. So this is the kind of circle they're doing over there in the Democratic areas because nobody's really paying attention over there in New Jersey enough. So, yeah, they were talking all about it in Congress. I go, dude, that was a complete setup. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. Yeah, here. You want to start right here, Mr. Space Shot, under funds?
Surely under funds. Quote, funds will ultimately face impoundment and seizure so they can to be returned to taxpayers. I read that as it was. Quote,
this is them debaking the illegally immigrants, by the way.
Oh, okay, nice. Quote, it is not ludicrous, but profoundly dangerous that any illegal alien can simply present a blue state driver's license or Biden border document and have unrestricted access to the United States financial system. Quote, I recently signed a powerful new executive order, which will be led by the Treasury Department, to stop banks, credit cards, and financial institutions from being used to facilitate human smuggling, drug trafficking, illegal immigration, and the criminal cartels who orchestrate these activities. Another quote, access to our nation's financial systems must be limited to those who have a legal right to be here and who are engaged in lawful and legitimate commerce. Bank accounts being used to enable illegal immigration or to store the welfare received by illegal aliens will be shut down. This also sends a clear message to the anti-ICE rioters, I'll get a beep, that your violent disruptions are only strengthening our resolve. My executive order will also allow us to stop billions in leaving our country in all manner of criminal activity. It has been said this measure we're talking about is the most effective means of reversing Biden's border invasion. We shall soon find out. Besant is going after fraudsters and illegals. Loving it.
So they're closing that money going out of the country through Western Union and all those types of bank transfers. They're monitoring that stuff a lot more. So, here in California, I talk about a person I used to work with, didn't have a California driver's license, but he had an ID, had a bank loan on a car, had insurance and the whole registration here in California, but he didn't actually have a license himself. And he drove around like that for like 20 years and didn't really have a problem with it. So that ability to still function in society without having a driver's license still there and operative. Now they're going to start squeezing down on people trying to show up and get a bank account out there and showing a government ID. And if you're an illegal immigrant, you're not going to get one anymore. And like we showed you earlier in the show, they are starting to arrest the people that run the company for employing illegal immigrants at a facility, and they knew that they were there. Not like some one's hiding in the background one place, they're going to arrest one person. No, it's when it's orchestrated like that, they're going after those people. So California's knocking. I think we got a lot of those out here.
It's hilarious. California be knocking.
What else do we want to stop by out here? There's another thing. Oh yeah, you remember that Wisconsin judge that was hiding the illegal immigrant from the ICE agents who was criminally charged and then found guilty. Now is trying to appeal her case right now here at this point. So yeah, let's see if that'll actually work. So she's on her last appeal before she goes to jail for 4 or 5 years. So yeah, and lose her judgeship and all those sort of things. So they're fighting tooth and nail to hold on to. Just find that interesting.
What a stupid move that she tried to pull, dude. I mean, and that's the type of person, because she's a judge, she has all this power, that she thought it would never happen, right? No, nothing's like going to happen to me. I'll just do this whatever I want. But yeah, you found out fast. That was the wrong move, lady.
They're going after these people. Here's a new thing. $45 million worth of cocaine seized after an underground tunnel between Mexico and San Diego under a Best Buy for Less store. You've seen those things right there. Yeah, they were wondering why the store wasn't selling a whole bunch of money. They don't see a lot of foot traffic, and they watched it for a few weeks, and they went.
Aren't you the one that told us about those fruit stands or like taco stands that are actually covers for drugs or any sort of money laundering drop-offs and whatnot? But this is advanced. But we saw this with El Chapo. I mean, how many tunnels do we have underground between Mexico and America? This is again, you go in for a baked good or some sort of travel agent, whatever these are, these bodegas, and then you have this underground railroad, literally with cart systems like Indiana Jones, dude. Look at that.
The interesting thing is Mexico Intel found it and then told America about it. And then they watched the location. It was like, holy shit, that whole Donald Trump thing saying Mexico, get your shit together and start busting these people. Look, we're showing something here. And they got, what'd they say, 25 pounds? And 2,000 foot long tunnel? 55 feet down underneath a business? Yeah. I mean, this is well educated here.
That's not just cocaine. That's people, human trafficking, all sorts of stuff. That's an underground network. And geez, talk about fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean, with our technology, we can see that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
It's pretty impressive that they did something like that. What else do we got over here? Oh, yeah. You remember the Antifa cell members down in Texas who grouped together and ended up shooting one of the Border Patrol agents in the neck? Or Homeland Security, one of those two out there. Yeah, they're all found guilty, and they're going to go through a sentencing shortly. So, yay. So, yeah, justice is happening. So they all found guilty. In a week or so, they're all going to go to sentencing and see how many years they're going to spend in jail for trying to commit murder of a federal agent. That's not a good thing, guys.
You're going to get, I get, they're probably minimum 10 years each. I don't think.
And remember, this is the whole Antifa terrorism thing. This is their first case that they're prosecuting underneath that terrorism thing with Antifa labeled as that particular manner. So, yeah.
I love it.
Across the finish line on one.
Let me thank one person, and you're going to hear this wrong unless you saw the show that me and Tron were on earlier. So thank you, Rollerbug, for the $5 Rumble rant. And the comment simply says, "My diggas." So appreciate that one. Maybe we'll get to that later on.
With the D, with the big
with
D?
the D, with the big
soft A, heavy H, no R, big D. Yeah.
Yeah. The Mackerel Tool Breaker made a little song. You remember that song from YG called My Niggas? He did a little play on that one, but he called it My Diggas.
Please, we never fought. Pretending like a ghost in the night. Dave in the house.
On to the next story. What else do we got over here? Oh, I wanted to go. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes talking about the new $1.5 billion mega resort they're going to build over here. Just a couple of comments over here.
I'm working on an incredible project with my husband in the Mediterranean. It's massive in scale.
I think that's an understatement. Can you explain?
Yes, it is.
There's no power on this island. You're building everything from scratch. Correct.
Well, it's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the islands. We went on a hike barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated. And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it, but with a lot of restraint and care, because the land is so beautiful that really the architecture has to be fully integrated into it, almost rise from it. You know, it's not even a business for me, despite the scale of it. We not only the island, but we have 5 miles of beachfront directly across from the island, this beautiful peninsula with a lagoon on one side, the ocean on the other, beautiful white sand beaches. For me, it feels more like a challenge than anything else. The culmination of all of my experience in real estate, all of my travel, a lot of reflection on how I want to live, how I think people...
Enough on that little particular point as she goes on and talks about the island itself. We'll throw this little clip out here really quick. Yeah.
After we left government in the summer of 2021, we were on our friend Nat Rothschild's boat. We got picked up in Montenegro, and then we started sailing over to Corfu, and we spent a couple days in Albania. One of the nights there, Prime Minister Rama came to the boat. I had not met him when I was in government, but I was very, very impressed with his vision for what he wanted to do with Albania. I really didn't know anything about the country. I didn't understand the history.
I just thought that particular point was a little interesting because I ran by a little clip. So yeah, he's on his friend's boat, Nathan Rothschild's boat, as they are all vacationing a few years ago. It's nothing recent. They say at least 3 or 4 years ago they were out there doing that. So ran by this little thread right here. Mr. Space Shot, would you like to read this for everybody? This is in regards to, I believe, just the 5 miles of coastline.
Okie dokie. Whale Scan says, stop scrolling. Do you understand what a frozen bank account actually does to a $4 billion resort project? My guess is not something good. Because most people are watching the protest footage and missing the math. Albania Land Development, the Qatari-owned company that holds the Coastal Land Affinity Partners needs to build, had its bank account seized by SPAC on June 2nd, 2026. No bank accounts means no transactions. No transaction means no construction financing can move, not 1 billion, not 100 million, not a single wire. You don't freeze the land vehicle for an environmental complaint. You freeze it when prosecutors believe the underlying property titles are fraudulent and you're afraid the money moves before you can stop it. And here's the part nobody's connecting. The 2024 land reclassifications that made this project legally possible are now the subject of a criminal investigation. The titles are under fraud review. The bank accounts are frozen, and the probe opened and the freeze landed within 24 hours of each other. That's not a slow regulatory process. That's prosecutors running. Kushner announced this deal in August of 24, visited the site with Ivanka in early 26, called it a vision for the Albanian coast. The Senate was already scrutinizing Affinity's foreign deals before any of this. A frozen land company with allegedly fraudulent titles and a widening criminal probe is not a permitting delay. It's the structural end of the project as currently built. I'll keep you updated. Turn on notifications. Boom.
So just some of the stuff to kind of put all that stuff together out there. So we'll point the finger anywhere. But yeah, so there's some interesting stuff there to get a hold of the land. And now everybody's taking a look at it saying, is there something fraudulent going on over there? Maybe.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Interesting comment. Hopefully it didn't scroll. Let me see here. It did. Oh, okay. Somebody said, where's her wedding ring? And I don't know if it was in there or if it was a reverse video, but I can see it on her right hand, but maybe it's a reverse video. So somebody said, okay, I'm just catching up with the comments there, but thank you guys.
Yeah. On a friend's boat, Nathan Rothschild just vacationing together.
Who is
something normal people do.
He's the 5th Baron Rothschild, just so everybody knows. And again, I have stated my dislike of Damien right there. You know, Damien from The Omen, for many years, and I know Tron doesn't like him because he took his girl. So I think two of us don't like Jared. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to imagine a father's love for his children holds no bounds. So imagine our commander in chief, our hero, not seeing the fact that, Jared. So there's always a position, Jared meeting with the Rothschilds, and we've kind of been indifferent and whatnot. So just give a little bit more time. You have to, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that little part of the story out there. We'll get back into some domestic stuff here. Back into a little dig deeper over here, as long as we get into the Epstein stuff or whatnot over here. Space Shot, you want to read the little tagline before I play the video?
Yeah, he torches him. Catherine Herridge, dig deeper. After the clash between Secretary Bessent and Ron Wyden, I ran, quote, Adam Wyden through the DOJ Epstein Files portal. 29 hits, including this April 2016 thank you email via Epstein's assistant. Oh, so she brought the sauce for what Bessent says here. I love it.
Senator Wyden has mendaciously slandered the Treasury building in an attempt to cover up his son having an investment meeting with Jeffrey Epstein to ask for funding. Thank you.
Chairman? But wait, there's more.
Yes.
Let's be clear here. Nobody is interested in the ramblings of a capo in the most corrupt regime in American history. We want to get some facts about this deal. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I will ask my questions first today.
And we would like to hear what Adam Wyden and Jeffrey Epstein talked about. Your son's largest investment position was Rick's Cabaret. So did your son and Jeffrey Epstein talk about pole dancing as he begged him for money using your limited credibility?
Limited credibility. Oh.
I mean, even though these hearings are kind of bullshit most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, you still get some zingers out of them. And every once in a while, we get a good testimony. But yeah, bringing the truth out there, they're definitely hitting back way better than Pam Bondi did, right?
Well, it's entertainment. Scott Bessent has kind of came out as this new shining North Star, and Wyden looks like Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something. It's just amazing how the stage is set. And again, we're being entertained as D-Class is happening in real time.
I got some more out here. We got to throw back out here for you guys. Yeah. Again, prep work, do your research.
So what is the administration's plan to lower gas prices?
We've taken the many.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have moved to.
Are you in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We would like to work.
Are you able to answer that, or is that not
Well, if I'm not interrupted, I can, Congressman.
Well, I'm waiting for your answer.
We have asked Congress to move to eliminate the gas tax. That is done through statute.
You have moved that. So you're in favor of eliminating the gas tax?
We have asked for that.
So we can join bipartisanly today because you're in favor to eliminate the gas tax.
Again, the White House has asked for it, sir.
They have? Why isn't it before the committee for a vote?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I don't run the agenda.
Well, it's good to hear that we're in favor of something that we can work on bipartisanly that will help relieve.
Yeah, no research for any of these guys. Congress is just screwed up.
If their staffer didn't tell them, then how is he going to know? Because these people are just blumbering idiots, essentially.
Pretty much. Start just yelling at them for doing anything out there. Just like I didn't bring any of the DHS stuff they're doing in New Jersey. It's just too stupid for some of these things in here. But yeah, we're just going to get a couple of good quotes out here. So yeah.
I mean, Cuba's a very different thing, yeah. Right? I mean, I think the misnomer about Cuba, or the misunderstanding about Cuba's actually not controlled by the government. Cuba's controlled by a military holding company named Gaesa. And Gaesa virtually owns anything. They own the tourist sector, they own mining, they own the gas stations, they own everything. They generate about 70% of Cuba's GDP is under the control of this military company. And they're sitting on between 14 and $17 billion in assets. So you have people literally starving, people literally like power grid that hasn't been maintained in 10 years. And yet you have this holding military company sitting on these assets. And by the way, not a penny of the money in the military holding company translates over to the public treasury. So the fundamental challenge we have here is that Cuba needs to be, in order for it not to continue to be a failed state, which poses a threat to the United States, they need systemic and serious reform. They need to have economic reforms. And the question is, can they possibly reform given the people who are currently in charge, both of Gaesa and of their government? And I think the answer is they can. I really don't believe this system is capable of reform unless new people take over.
So interesting things coming out of that particular group between Trump and Rubio here as of lately, that once they get Iran wrapped up here and supposedly peace deal, we're on hold, who knows, we both step up. It changes every week, so depending on what flavor you want to go with. Said they're going to take a little bit of break and then go down and talk with the Cubans again out there. And I don't think they're going to do it nicely. So some of these things that are coming together is pretty interesting, and I think Cuba's next on the list, just to kind of throw that testimony in the Congress side.
Heck yeah. I mean, they're not running anything. Gaesa. I mean, so, hey, they can't run it correctly. I guess we're going to have to go snag us a leader, or we're just going to have to start running stuff. Dude, I love this. This one's so funny.
That one's a little bit out of order, but I went with it anyways. Another one right here. The other one right here. This is Bassett again. So remember the whole thing we talked about way back in the beginning of Elon Musk and Bassett getting in some sort of argument?
I do have one awkward question to ask you real quick, and then I want to get to some of the trends and how you're going to work on them. Did you actually tell Pulte you were going to punch him in the face?
No, sir. I actually said I was going to kick his ass.
Good. Okay, good. I share the emotion. Thank you.
And as I said, that was last summer, summer 25, and many teams have fights in the locker room and then go out and win for the team on the field.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because everybody's going to be showing that. I made it clear I'm not going to support Pulte for DNI, but I'm sure they're going to dredge that up. But so I thought I'd give you an opportunity to.
I had a very good exchange with the director yesterday. Want to keep the momentum going on the FX.
Yeah, well, he lost me when he went after Powell. Okay. So we can move on to your core job.
Yep. Their government is just kabuki theater the whole day, all of it. Where are we going to go to next? That one's too long to play over here. Oh, do want to step by this lady right here. We are definitely going to do. I missed this and didn't pay enough attention to this particular comments. Yeah, I didn't know they were going to build this.
Would like to take just a moment on the New World screwworm. So it is a vexing challenge that we thought we had beaten in the 1960s and 1970s. As I mentioned, unfortunately, that was wrong as the screwworm began to make its way back towards us in 2021. The way we defeated it before, you need about 400 million sterile flies per week to actually mate with the bad flies, sterilize them, and then, of course, the way that the flesh is in wounds becomes open to these screwworms, which are actually flies. The flies land in the wound, they lay their eggs. The larva then is what actually eats the flesh. If you catch it right away, you can save the animal and put them back into the supply system after a number of days. If you don't catch it right away, then that's where the problem ensues. Back when we did beat it, again, as I mentioned, it's about 400 million sterile flies a week, and that was in the 1960s, 1970s. Because over years we as a country, we as a hemisphere had taken our eye off the ball, thinking it was eradicated. We got down to only 100 million sterile flies in production a week in a facility in Panama. So that is what we, the country, not me or USDA, but the country really had relied on to keep it out of Central America and Mexico, et cetera. So here we are. When we got in last year, I was presented with the information. It's starting to move its way up. I went to the president and I said, this is going to be a massive problem because we need 400 million to 500 million flies per week to beat this back.
Shit.
We only have one facility in our entire hemisphere, and it's only producing 100 million flies per week. So got immediate approval to begin permitting and construction on what will be the largest facility in the world on this, and that is being built right now in Mission, Texas. So instead of a couple years of permitting, our Army Corps of Engineers, our Secretary of the War, put it at the top of the list, got it fast-tracked, and we broke ground about 3 or 4 months ago. That facility will come online when it does next year. When it does, it'll produce about 300 million flies per week, in addition to the 100 million from Panama. And then we outfitted an additional Mexican facility in Matapa for another $100 million. So we will get back to the point where we're able.
So yeah, beef producers got a huge issue coming up here with this screwworm. And I had no idea that they already broke down ground and are producing this facility already in Texas to combat this, as they're finding cases in some of the baby cows that are being born, which is a bad thing, which means we have our lowest beef herd in the last 75 years. Throw the screwworm on top of this, it's not going to turn out very good for beef production in the United States. And it's already hurting already. So they're moving as fast as they can to deal with this particular issue. Yeah, beef, cows, screwworms.
We can't afford beef anymore. Chicken is the new meat. Steaks are outrageous. And now we have that tick thing coming in. They don't want us. You will own nothing and be happy and eat the bugs.
Oh, look, Google released 64 million bacteria-infected mosquitoes across California and Florida over the next 2 years. Yeah, it goes along with what we were just talking about. Google has filed 2 separate experiments used for applications for the EPA. So again, yeah, they're going to do more mosquito stuff out there. So I think Bill Gates needs to get a new Mr. Roger outfit because it's not turning out very well. I don't know why he has to get involved in all this, but yeah. So yeah, they're going to do California, St. Louis, interesting things just to throw on top of that.
There should be laws against that. Like if you make, computers and software, you shouldn't be able to make a lab where you have mosquitoes and test tubes and stuff. Like that's like, Doctor Strange stuff. That's like science fiction gone wrong. That's like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are crazy.
It's coming, it's going.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
I'm just responding to Tron's comment.
Yeah, the glitch was fixed.
Oh,
it's not there anymore.
Oh,
you might want to well, I tried it and it said you can't. It's funny.
All right, I'll try to refresh.
What did I miss?
No, we were just talking about commercial time. If you guys want to, yeah.
See if you got a Rumble Wallet ski, and then see what happens.
I gotta hit the refresh button here really quick. There it is. Yeah, I can go ahead and hit the button. You want me to hit the button?
I can hit the button. Hopefully I can hit the button. Go ahead, hit the button. We'll see what happens. Yep.
Commercial! Break for 30 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying your transfers, or limiting access, you're the one in control. And if you ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now fast forward to today. Everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Boom.
Commercial! Commercial! Break for 30 seconds.
Thank you, chat. Where did we leave off? Where did I leave off? Where are we at? The cows. Yeah, the cows and all that. Yeah. And the other thing here is we're going up to the 250 stuff, so we're going to take a look at some of those things. It says that they've basically did 500. They cleaned graffiti. Got rid of 153 homeless encampments. They did 22 fountains restored and 22 statues cleaned. Interesting things is just the response you've seen from the regular people out on the street or whatnot, talking about these particular areas that they've never seen it this clean or this water this blue or there's homeless people and naked people over here, just all the bad things you could possibly think of that they never thought they would ever see DC like this. So again, we're seeing the things that the boss is doing that makes a big impact on everyday people. So look at that. Even some of the parks, Columbus Park.
I'd never seen that, dude. That's beautiful too, especially when you're looking at it from the bottom looking up, because all these are like little mini waterfalls in the middle there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So good for him for making a big difference out there. And since we're speaking about that, you can read this for everybody, Mr. Space Shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Trump rally, June 24th in D.C. to honor the 250th. On Wednesday, June 24th at 7 p.m. in magnificent Washington, D.C., now totally beautified and one of the safest cities anywhere in the world, and in celebration of our country's 250-year history. We will be bringing you live the greatest rally ever. It will be special at every level, a rally to end all rallies. We don't want singers with no talent, but big fees to put you to sleep. We've told them all to stay home. All we want is you, me, a few speakers, and the greatest music ever played. The same music you have listened to for years. We will have the fabulous Lee Greenwald introducing me with what has turned out to be one of the greatest hits of all time, God Bless the USA, and the amazing Christopher Macchio, who will sing Nessun Dorma, Hallelujah, Ave Maria, God Bless America, and otros. Not since the legendary Luciano Pavarotti has there been such a voice. The rally will also be featuring the wonderful U.S. Army Band, quote, Pershing's Own, and Armed Forces Choir, and the President's Own United States Marine Band, with the Joint Armed Forces Chorus, all of your favorite hits, plus a fine and highly dignified gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump. Kaboom. I love it, dude.
Dude, that's awesome.
The other thing that was happening is they were talking about a particular event that was backed by, because there's America 250 by Congress, and then there's the Freedom 250, and one ended up backing the other. They didn't like Trump being associated with it, so that's what he was talking about on Twitter. Everybody was backing up from doing the performance, but I think you're going to still have the rapper Youngblood, Vanilla Ice, Lean Greenwood, and Kid Rock said he's going to show up and perform. So yeah, he said, "Pound it, guys! I'll show up." So he's going to turn it around for him no matter what. So just to go ahead.
Ice, you say Ice Baby?
Vanilla Ice, yes, sings that popular song right there. Yeah, or you can read that, Tron.
Yeah, Democrats criticized Trump for holding MMA match on the hallowed grounds where Biden hosted topless trannies, guys. That's right. Franks and beans, and sometimes you have to check. Very disgusting. This was on our White House under a Sleepy Joe administration, and now we have a giant portal. I mean, a stage for fighting. UFC 1776, fight. Look at this thing, dude. This is absolutely incredible. The fact that they can build this in such a quick amount of time. And Space Shot, did you hear that? I forgot the guy's name, but he criticized Israel, and now he's not on the card. Is that true? Is that like really?
This is what he said.
He's posting.
This is what he said. This isn't a comment.
Yeah. So this is Strickland MMA, and he's no filter. Put it this way. Strickland MMA, UFC at the White House with BB in the audience. Straight Jewish slop or Jewish flag slop. Judy Trucker says, "Why are you banned?" And he says, "I made fun of Israel and Epstein." And then he says, "The only male American champ banned at the White House because I said Trump is owned by Bibi. That is not a public opinion. It is fact." Love it, dude. We need more of this. More. And dude, I don't know why he said that. Is he implying that BB's going to be there?
Here's some more comments.
Where was that at when he was going to be there?
Yeah, because it says right there, UFC at the White House with BB in the audience. I want to see that because I don't think the dude is alive. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Since
which
that
BB
coffee
is going to
shop.
be the six-fingered one? He's going to come out in like a rabbit costume, some sort of a bunny. Like, what is he going to? He's going to be there? Like,
Yeah,
supposedly.
I don't think so we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. And dude, I'll be seriously looking to see. He said, to be fair, they did ban me, but when you make fun of the leaders of America, they tend to be a little petty. By leaders, I mean Israel. Why are you banned? I made fun of Israel. Da 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 da. So yeah, dude. He and not just this. Like with any topic, he's like the. What's the best? He says it himself. He's like, I'm like trailer trash or whatever, and like I'm a dude that trailer trash, then now I got money essentially, and he just has no filter. I like the way he fights and stuff like that for sure. I just and I think what he's saying, we need to hear more of this stuff because there is a problem with the APEC stuff, right? We absolutely need this stuff exposed more and more and more for the normies out there that don't see it. And guys, what are we doing something that Sunday? Are we doing it? What are we doing? Because it's Sunday.
how are we gonna think about it? We're not on a camera. How do we show it without showing it unless we go on Pilled exclusively? But Rumble, that's going to be a gamble. I mean, that's going to be a dice throw.
Well, we don't have to play it. We can be watching it, and then because other shows will do the same thing. We can just kind of listen to it in the background and talk as we're
going to have a blank screen. What are we going to show? It's going to be weird.
We could show parts of it. I
can get past the copyright.
But you won't be able to get past like Rumble though. They might say,
No, Foxhole, anything goes. It's like a trip to Tijuana. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that.
I've heard.
Well, here then we're just gonna. While you guys are talking about that, we're just gonna play this because why not?
Best part, it's AI. You can't copyright
You're getting deported, Gavin. This is what America wants.
Pretty much. Just to throw that back out there on those side. What else we talk about? Oh, remember Cat Turd and all the swatting and all those things they were running into? Yeah. His person that did the swatting event got 4 years incarceration, 3 years supervised release, and a special assessment for $200. So yeah, 4 years in jail for instituting the swatting deal. So yeah, the United States government's going after these guys. So Kash Patel said, yeah, we're definitely going after these guys.
People could die.
The other biggest thing on the planet is the SpaceX IPO. When is this supposed to come out? In like a week or something?
June 12th, I think, a few days right before June 14th. And this thing is going to absolutely explode. I believe the IPO insiders, there's 5% ownership. So they're going to have the first dibs on what happens. But whether or not they have a sell-off period, a deal, usually they have a sell-off with the IPOs where you have to wait a certain amount of time. But yeah, the space sector in the last few months, just leading up to this event, has saw a 50 to 100% increase in companies like Rocket Lab, Redwire, Planet Labs, and we saw Bezos' whole infrastructure actually blow up. So SpaceX is coming in now. It kind of makes the question whether or not DJT and the government are going to kind of step in like an Intel, because SpaceX is huge, dude. They hold a lot of DoD contracts, and they're not going, this route for no reason. So it's going to be interesting to see how Elon might even tie in Tesla. He even teased that he's going to combine SpaceX with Tesla, which makes Tesla stockholders part owner of SpaceX, and that's still to be determined. But Elon owns, I think, 80% of this, and the rest is for everyone else. But it makes you wonder, man, because he bought X. He bought X on through the share system and whatnot. He bought out all the outstanding shares, but this time it's the other way around. He's going from his own baby, his own creation, to like, it's for you guys, it's for humanity, it's public. Well, at least 20%. But exciting times. It's going to absolutely blow up the market.
Yeah, because I was looking into that because they're going to offer it to the public, but they're not going to give any discount to the brokerages or anything like that. And the brokerages drop their holdings for people to go and buy these stock or whatever stock on their holdings. They dropped it from $500,000 to $2,500. So they're thinking that people are setting up to buy, to be able to get into the market and buy some of that first chunk of shares when they hit the market.
Well,
So,
and if you own like a mutual fund or like a BlackRock, or there's a few of those out there that you might have in your 401ks, it's going to have a small chunk of this. They already have that established, I believe, at some point for portfolio balance. So it's going to benefit the entire market as a whole. It's going to be good.
yeah, it's going to get interesting. Why is that out of line?
You're out
We'll
of
go
line.
find the other half of this. You're out of line.
You're out of order.
We'll go right over to the other side of what this was. You know what? We're going to start right here because they did this too. As we talk about AI, President Trump is reversing the energy emergency. So all the closing coal plants that they had put into idle mode, hiatus, or they're going to rip them apart. They said there was like 19 of them across the United States. They gave them a bunch of money. You're going to keep that open out there. And then they're doing a coal infrastructure because they're going to start opening up the coal mines to ship this stuff international out there. And Trump gives Oakland $75 million for its new terminal and the big boost to for the coal industry because they got the large container ship port right there. So they're going to have a whole trainload of stuff of coal going into California, load up on these ships so they get them out of the United States. So they got picked over here for the West Coast. That's an interesting thing, which means the Chinese need to get out of Oakland because they have a whole bunch of control over that city. They've been busting them here lately in the last year or year and a half, but yeah, they've really destroyed Oakland. So we'll see what happens. So energy infrastructure is coming back pretty quickly.
Clean, beautiful coal. Clean, beautiful coal.
And he had those coal people in the White House, I think, today or the other day. Interesting.
Yep. So they're pushing all that through. Was that the federal? We'll get back to some of that. We'll get into NVIDIA here really quick. Yeah, they just had their keynote out here. Out here, we'll just make fun of it because this is what it pretty much sounds like.
AI, generative AI, waves of AI. AI was agentic AI. Agentic AI, useful AI has arrived. This is the promise of AI. The AI companies want to build a lot more tokens, build more AI factories. Useful AI has arrived. AI, this entire system is called an agent.
That's pretty much how most of America feels how AI is going to be in their particular life themselves and what they really get at it. The key point over here is they released a new chip. The new chip is basically combining over 3 or 4 years of iterations, a CPU and a GPU, put it together and made it into a Windows laptop, and then have Windows make a special edition Windows for this particular chip, which they've never done ever in the history of Microsoft. So they've been planning this for a while. The on-par stuff for power is going to be actually pretty good. No prices coming out yet for it, but this is taking on AMD and Intel and all those guys. First batch are going to be basically made for people who are going to run AI agents and tech workforce and those sort of things. But eventually, when they build enough of them, it'll get down to even gaming laptops and stuff. So yeah, just interesting things that they come out with that they're putting together right now. So that's on the positive side of that. We don't need to go into details for what they're building out there, but it was just a huge thing because nobody thought that everybody was going to take on the old x86 architecture. Now they've done. I thought this was interesting. Space Shot, you take a quick read of this?
Certainly. Quote, all great technology changes produce bubbles, Dalio told Bloomberg. The pricking is the converting of wealth into money right now. Every major tech company is pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into AI infrastructure and booking it as investment. The moment investors demand actual returns, companies will have to show that the money spent is generating real profits from real customers. If the revenue is not there, valuations collapse, and right now, the revenue is not there. AI companies are spending $800 billion in capital expenditure this year alone. OpenAI spends $60 billion annually on cloud infrastructure against $25 billion in actual revenue. Less than 1% of executives globally report meaningful return on investment from their AI investments. 95% of enterprise AI pilots have failed to deliver measurable returns, according to MIT.
That's important.
Oh, yeah. The entire $2 trillion cloud backlog held by Microsoft, Oracle, Google, and Amazon is anchored by two unprofitable companies, OpenAI and Anthropic. By 2030, the industry needs $2 trillion in annual revenue to justify what is being built today. Bain estimates it will fall $800 billion short. Dalio is not saying the technology is fake. He is saying the economics do not work yet, and every bubble in history has ended the same way when that moment of reckoning has arrived. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Too much money.
Here's another one.
Way too much money.
Dude, one more for you to read.
Sure. Michael's eyes are getting blurry. Okay, Michael Burry says NVIDIA has 3 big customers, and if they stop buying, the whole thing is over. Those 3 customers now account for 64% of NVIDIA's entire accounts receivable. In 2020, that number was 33%. It jumped 8 percentage points in a single quarter. NVIDIA's revenue is not spread across a broad market. It is almost entirely dependent on a handful of buyers. Burry's argument is about why those buyers may slow down or stop entirely. He calls it the bezel. The bezel is not that AI is fake. It is that a massive portion of current AI spending is coming from companies that are benchmarking models, testing systems, and competing on AI leaderboards. That activity is temporary. It will end, but it is being counted and financed today as if it's permanent growing demand. He says they are just flying empty airplanes around. When that benchmarking phase ends, those 3 concentrated customers have far less reason to keep ordering chips at the current pace. And because NVIDIA's revenue is this concentrated, even a partial slowdown from these buyers creates a massive hole in its numbers. Now here's where it gets more alarming. Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Oracle together have $662 billion in off-balance sheet AI commitments, according to Moody's. Standard accounting rules allow companies to keep this completely hidden from their reported numbers. To fund this infrastructure, private equity firms have been buying life insurance companies. But why? A PE firm owns illiquid investments that need financing. It buys an insurance company which collects premiums from ordinary policyholders. That insurance company then invests those premiums into the PE firm's own illiquid assets. The PE firm then sets up a captive reinsurer in Bermuda with lighter capital requirements and pushes the insurance risk onto that offshore balance sheet. Burry's point is that all of this is connected. The same PE firms own the insurance companies funding the AI debt. The same Bermuda structures hold the risk. If any major hyperscaler walks away from a data center commitment, everything hits at the same time because every counterparty in the chain is linked to the same underlying assets.
Yeah.
Boom.
So, yeah, it's an interesting going of merry-go-round. And then we do have the Attorney General of Florida suing OpenAI over here for the harm of people for fueling violence and physical harm inside their chat. So they got a big lawsuit that just came out this particular week. So they're going to have to mess with that as long as we're talking about AI. So this is going to be a big shot across the bow if they find that ChatGPT or Sam Altman or those types of places are encouraging or not controlling AI to stop from doing these sort of things. They could be held liable.
Oh, yeah.
That put a big stop to a lot of stuff pretty quickly.
And they should.
And then
I don't know what the hell, like, what is their goal right now, dude? They're trying to get it to hit a certain level of being like what, self-conscious or self-knowledgeable, like spending billions and trillions of dollars for what exactly? That's what I don't get.
I like her comment.
We'll never pay off the debt that the country's paying, ever. Our children, our grandchildren, I don't know what's going to happen. It's much more likely we'll face some sort of a bankruptcy as a country unless we can somehow get these AI companies to take on our debt. They're the only ones who could afford it. And
did you come up with that? Get the AI companies?
That's my idea, yeah.
How the hell, why would they do that?
I don't know, because we'll let them develop their product. Like, they're the only ones who can afford it. They actually could get us out of this jam. And maybe we can use it to at least save America and our balance sheet.
I kind of agree with her a little bit. Yeah, with billion-dollar data centers and trillion-dollar evaluations on companies inside the United States. Just thinking.
Money, we'll take it.
Just little pieces that I'm thinking about out here. Didn't have the. Oh yeah. And then we do have Micron, who extends gains above $1,000 a share the first time in history. Worth $2 trillion.
Damn.
The stock was worth $60 billion 13 months ago. So think about this bubble that we're entering, folks.
All those chip companies, NVIDIA, AMD, also ARM, ARM saw a significant increase. That IPO'd at I think $50, and now it's at 400 or I think 100. It's some ridiculous amount, but yeah, exponential on the chip market. And this is why we can't buy RAM. When's the price going to come down? External hard drives, dude, everything.
China's got some competition for that becoming into the market and stuff. Some manufacturers are not susceptible to the price upgrade. Some are going to be, and we're going to see it. I don't think it's coming down anytime soon, but I think the AI bubble will pop before we see RAM prices come down, unfortunately. So it is going to come.
And they make the chips for iPhones, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is when that market crashes, it's going to take down just like the dot-com bubble, or the real estate issue that we ran into. So it's going to get a little bumpy. Another thing I keep watching is SpaceX compute deal with Anthropic includes 325,000 NVIDIA GPUs across Colossus and Colossus 2, plus hyperscale CPUs, blah, 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 storage, high-speed interconnects. They're going to pay them $1.25 billion a month to rent XAI's data centers.
Yeah. And
think about that for a second.
Funny is Colossus is that movie from 1970, which is like the prior is basically pre-war games. It's a computer that thinks for itself, a supercomputer. So this is pre-AI back in 1970 about launching nuclear missiles, and its name was Colossus. And here is Elon with the Colossus with SpaceX. I mean, almost recreating the past. That's crazy.
And there's the whole Memphis connection and Egyptian thing, because he built it in Memphis, Tennessee, as I remember out there. But the big thing on here is, since we got XAI, why isn't he using his own XAI and his own stuff? He built all these things and built all this infrastructure and built a data center in 20 days. And why is he renting? Well, because XAI is not strong enough to basically use the entire data center. He can only really get it up to 20 or 30%. To really use for what he needs until he can grow the model bigger. So why not rent the extra space to somebody else? That's basically what's happened. At $1.25 billion a month. How'd you like to pay that rent?
Damn. That's crazy.
A little bit of sciencey over here, because Enoch dropped it over here. The increased reports of the fireball-style meteors across the Midwest and Northeast over the last 5 days, which I find interesting. We also have an X-flare coming in. We're going to have northern lights up in Northern California. So that's all tonight. You'll be able to see that. So crazy weather going around with weird storms in Colorado. We have all these meteors and fireballs coming in just on this side of the United States, which I find interesting.
Planet X,
you saw all those
back.
reports.
Planet X returning finally. I've been waiting for this since 2010.
Yeah, Nibiru fireballs. We have solar flares. We have that one XAI meteor, whatever that thing was called, that just missed us. Apparently, we have Armageddon with Bruce Willis and don't wanna close my, that kind of idea. Great movie, great date night movie, guys. Something for everyone.
Armageddon, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely have to go revisit that. Out there. All right, potpourri is what we got left down here at the very end as we keep going. I think I got some cool stuff over here. This lady over here is basically saying, if anybody's seen the home inspector shows where they have the little AI skits out there, and they'll do the home inspection and basically show what's wrong with those types of things. Site Porter's the popular one that's out there.
Homes on homes.
But she's and he's saying over here, it says large corporations are buying up the small home inspection companies. They don't care about making money off it on the inspection homes. They want the data. Why? Well, obviously they can keep the stuff hidden. So this lady goes through a lengthy video talking about how they're starting to pick up, these private equity firms are picking up these home inspections that are supposed to be funded by the home builders, so they don't get they get better reviews and they don't have so many issues with review boards and have to fix a lot of issues out there. It's kind of like how they all bought up the drug suppliers, the insurance company, and the hospitals all at once. It's the same basic idea out there. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out there, guys, that's coming down the aisle for those guys. What else did we have?
Where there's a will, there's a scam, dude. It's like...
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about 60 Minutes? If anybody was wondering what was going on, exactly why he got fired out there, they got a shakeup out there.
Oh.
Want to take a crack at that space shot?
Yeah, I had not heard about this, but I ain't mad at it, that's for sure. Let's see. Now, in a huge fuck around, find out moment, CBS has just terminated 60 Minutes anchor Scott Pelley's contract effective immediately. And that's in all caps, so he means it. Pelley accused editor-in-chief Barry Weiss of murdering, quote, murdering the show and got into a heated meeting. Executive producer fired back in a scathing letter, quote, your antipathy to the future of the show has come through loud and clear, and I have heard you. I therefore write on behalf of CBS News to inform you that your employment with CBS is terminated for cause effective immediately, obtained by Puck News. Brutal. She's murdering 60 Minutes. She does not love this place. She was brought in to kill it, and she's doing exactly that. Wow.
Yep, fired him on the spot. That was in the Monday morning meeting, and he was fired just shortly after lunch. Effective immediately, sir. So, 60 Minutes going through a little bit of changes over there. Yeah. Okay, potpourri stuff.
He's like, I'm ready to retire anyway. Yeah,
pretty much. Here, read this one for everybody.
Potpourri. Who was this young DOJ lawyer named, quote, Brett M. Kavanaugh, who was so deeply involved in investigating the mysterious death of Hillary Clinton's close friend and partner who became White House counsel? That name sounds so familiar. Anyone know? Oh, that's the dude, that Foster, was it?
Eric Foster? I figured you would know the name.
It's Vince, right?
Vince Foster, yeah, dude. And that was the thing.
Yeah.
They think that maybe she was having an affair with him, maybe, or something. I don't know, but he definitely got killed, and they made it sound like it was a suicide. Gunshot wound of Vincent Welker. That was the one that he got killed in like the park or something. Where was it?
I don't remember, but the big thing is the DOJ lawyer was Brett Kavanaugh, our current SCOTUS.
Deeply involved in investigating. Yep. See, I'm telling you, people saw things that were going on that they did not like in our government, and I think that one video too about the FBI guy talks about in 2008, all of us in the intelligence agency learned about this man that was coming in, essentially a Manchurian candidate that was working for multiple intelligence agencies. And he said that man is the guy's name I don't like to say, who was elected president of the United States in 2008. So there are good people inside of our intelligence agencies that did see what was going on, and I would present to you the Q team is a core of that.
And I just remember the testimony with Lindsey Graham and Kavanaugh. They're talking about Eisenhower, something or other, where they're talking about capital punishment and those sort of things.
Talk about
No, that's your constitutional rights don't traverse across overseas when you're engaging in criminal activities, and that was that Eisenstrater case, and that was interesting, dude. I mean, Flimsy Graham, as much of a unconstitutionalist and deep state enemy, everyone has a purpose. Everyone becomes an outside operator with or without even knowing. So this is again a spotlight on the past and the criminal network that precedes all of that deep state action. And HRC's been a little quiet lately. She's got to come back.
Yeah. No book deals, no tours, nothing. I don't see anything from her other than she was yelling about the 250 that that Trump is ruining the White House. That's about it. That's the only thing I saw about him over there. Yeah. So again, Tim Burchard asked President Trump to bring back Kid Rock, John Rich, and Glenn Lee Greenwood, but for the other artists, they were going to bail. So that's why he's holding the rally and going to bring back Kid Rock. So I've heard confirmation on it. It's already good to go out there. What else do we got out here at the end? Oh, the other thing is this was the the power investment. 300 million of it's going to go for coal. The other is for power plants and infrastructure, and that was on top of them spending the Oakland port as a coal extractor for an output out there, which is a good thing. So that was the restart the coal plants to save the ones from closing out there. What was the other thing that was over here? Energy celebrates first advanced reactor critically. So they're talking about the small nuclear reactor and fusion. They're talking about fusion again, and they're getting closer to running some of that stuff that's out there.
That's what makes it 88 miles an hour. Again, the Mr. Fusion, Department of Energy, the Q team. This is where it all started. Sum of all fears, uranium one, nuclear, and Boss, remember, had a merger with TAE for this kind of energy. So, is this a future proofs pass with John G. Trump entering from MIT with a little sprinkle on top? I mean, this is a long time coming. This is fascinating.
Exactly. Oh, that was just a quick side note that evidently his uncle was pretty instrumental in World War II with helping develop a lot of the radar technology.
Radar, yep.
Oh, yeah, like, oh, wow, I had no idea on that.
And we had, and again, we had no idea of John G. Trump until we needed to know about him. I mean, that's just, the story is just like mind blowing that he was the one, at least that's the story that was given to us, that he was the one to look over these files with his, genius ability. It's just amazing.
Exactly. What else do we got? They're talking about Zelensky wants to talk to Putin. Putin's like, sure, no problem. We'll see what happens. I think it's a whole lot of nothing. Still does not want to hold elections. So yeah, good luck with that. What else do we got? I think that was on chips. We don't need to go into chips. That was my last little piece. I wonder if there's anything else in here. That was the half eating. Oh, the other thing out here is home sellers have been giving up listing their houses out there because there was like 800,000 more homes for sale than there are actual buyers are out there. And right now they've shown in the last 2 weeks that a big chunk of these houses are being pulled off the market. Why? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm not exactly sure where the housing market is going to land. So that's a big, giant, crazy deal. I think that was it. That's all I got. Oh, and then they're talking about building the tunnel under Alaska. Evidently, we're going to sign the agreement tomorrow, and we're going to start building a tunnel going underneath there so we go from Russia to America.
Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Dude, was that? I thought that was friggin' Mariah Carey underneath, but then I saw the word Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
What the hell is that?
Oh, yeah. Just going through. That's some of our Saturday stuff. That Sports Illustrated, you can actually read it now because it doesn't have the DEI and the LGBT community. And it seems as of lately, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition has gone like through the roof, and people are watching the show now. They actually want to see the new swimsuits and all that are out there. So yeah, tune in for Saturday shows. We're going to cover some of those models that are out there, the things that they have to say, because they're just pro-America, right?
1 p.m.
Wait, they talk? So that's all I got, guys.
You mean there's articles in those books?
Pop-up pictures, little coloring areas, stuff like that. It's going to be absolutely great. You can actually read with the pop-ups and everything.
It was called Highlights magazine. You were in the dentist's office. It was the best.
So is there anything else we missed? Some stuff we should throw out? Anything interesting? Because that was kind of my side of the whole deal that I was watching. I still got some stuff for Saturday, so I just wanted to check in with you guys.
I get just a quick one. It's not, you don't need to put anything up, but I just found it to be funny. And I will read my Twitter post to you. Essentially, it says, "No, really, guys, I'm telling you, Trump's doing exactly what the deep state wants." Facepalm emoji. Why the hell are the House of Representatives trying to stop President Trump in Iran if President Trump is doing exactly what the deep state wants? And I wrote it messed up. I'll wake up. But again, in a first, House votes to block Trump from ordering further strikes on Iran. Senate advanced a similar war powers resolution last month on a procedural blah, blah, blah. And of course, it's just to push back and forth.
Well, wait. Congress passed it. The Senate's on vacation, so good luck for a month.
Right? Good luck, pal. But again, it's just, no, he's doing just what the deep state wants, everything. It's like, really? Doesn't seem that way to me, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely getting interesting with what sides. It seems like we're lining up for a big corruption case to come out. Let's see if they ever get this thing together, because we haven't heard from Geneva in a while. I can't find him making any waves out on the internet, and he got dropped off in the Southern District of Florida down there in that big giant RICO case down there. And I think that's also where Devin Nunes kind of went to help out down there for the weaponization of government type of thing. So that's where I think Devin Nunes left and went over there to help him out as an oversight. So interesting things should be coming, because I pay attention to people that get really quiet.
Yeah, it's those that are the loudest and those that are, the quietest. And if you pay attention during this 2026 timeline, somehow there seems to be a Brennan, there seems to be a renegade out there. There always seems to be a shift of deep state actors that are in the spotlight, and then they remove themselves. And then at the same time, we have Scaramucci models. We have the 2016 Russia team coming back. So there's retribution happening on all different angles. And most importantly, we are in good hands, and we're getting a lot done right before November. I mean, we have a lot of time between now and November. We're going to enjoy 250 years of American greatness on July 4th, and that lasts a whole nother year after that. So, we're always looking at July 4th and all that fun stuff, but Independence Day for 250 is going to happen a year across America. So we're going to celebrate, and with these celebrations comes all these little wins that are going to build up to that big final hurrah, which is the mass arrests and the corruption and temple of the deep state comes down. That's it.
Yeah, it's I don't believe all in the polls that we're seeing. Trump with his lowest numbers out there for the ones that they're polling out there. We look out on what we're seeing just in the elections and backing up in the right areas that we are seeing the red wave come back around. I'm not saying we're going to have one, but the trickle is going in the right direction itself, and we're locking down certain states to be kind of Republican strongholds here at this point. But the deep state's always got pieces up its sleeve and different cards it could try. And we know it's coming, because October surprise is always happening out there, and that's not too far away as we start coming up to election season.
That momentum. They don't have that momentum like they used to have, or at least perceived used to have. They have no party left. There is no excitement on their side. And meanwhile, on our side, there's a little bit of a stalemate here between war, between high prices, gasoline. But again, that short-term pain is going to fulfill the future of our country. And I think a lot of Americans are realizing that. This is not just for now, this is for the future. And whether there's a deep state or not, we have to make America great. We have to stop the fraud, waste, and abuse. Keep that money here. Keep that, fiat over here. And then let's draw attention to the fiat and change it up. Throw a little blockchain, throw a little gold, throw a little crypto. And most importantly, I think we're ample. We're ready for this. For this new change, this new age, this golden age. I mean, back in 2016, America rose up and said, we want the outsider. So again, the momentum is fulfilling right now, and we have 2 years left, right? We want the diamonds return in 28, but let's get done now what we can, and just keep on going each day, each week at a time.
Yeah, because technically we'd have 2 years in January. Am I thinking right?
I think so.
So we got a little bit of
that would,
if I'm thinking right. So how long he's going to hang out until he gets out of office itself, and see at the changing of the guard who's going to be, the next one to replace him, as we watch a little bit of apprentice between Rubio and Vance, and see who's going to dance the best. So we'll see. Rubio, my little Marco Rubio, like he used to say back in 2016, because they all ran together. But I mean, when you're in the public eye, it seems like they play a different card, but when they're backstage, they're all working together. So those are some of the good things. We'll see what happens out there. I'm looking forward to it, right?
Absolutely. Don't get interesting. It is certainly getting more interesting. And kind of regarding the election stuff, to Tron's point earlier, that last little election cycle, he went 37-0 or somewhere around that ballpark. So that was very good. And I can't wait to see what else is going to be coming on out there. It's going to be toasty. And all these different topics keep getting hit, right? Like, obviously, we have Iran, the COVID stuff's coming back, the election stuff, Crossfire Hurricane. What am I missing? Probably some things, but it seems like it's all coming back in and it's not going away. It's circling that drain, to your point earlier, Hulk. You know, want to see the baby. It's circling the drain slowly but surely, and it repeats are necessary to wake up some of these people that are too black-pilled or too dug in to see it because they got TDS. Because like we have said for years, they done a really good job of doing what they do, and they stick together on that side to basically just butcher every Democrat, every Republican or conservative. They don't really take sides as far as that concerned. They go after everybody, but they've done too good of a job basically blackpilling people against President Trump, you know, the normies. And
well, that's why they're going to have to go the extra mile, I think, with some of the info they're going to come out with. You know, they're never going to tell us everything, but they have to tell us enough where it's going to be remembered. And it should shock us a little bit. You know, we're not going to be surprised, but there should be something out there. We're like, holy shit. Oh, wow. You know, all the stuff that Dan Bongino was talking about when he stepped into the office after writing four books on Spygate and getting there, reading the actual files, and was surprised he didn't even know half of it. So I think that's the direction we'd have to go to see a lot of that. And then, you know, make sure the next guy in 4 or 5 years doesn't do the same thing again. It's got to show somebody's got to be the poster child for justice, and I think they're going to find it. Is what it comes down to.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait. It's coming slowly but surely.
Well, should we do some thank yous and all that, or you got anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, go. I'm just copying in my diggers into the thing. Yeah. So I got it. I slapped together some
we out here digging, never sleep. Flipping the script, think we'll give up, digger please. We never quit, Joe Rambo in the field, they spitting facts legit. Matrix code breaker, he don't suffer, he just has. Stormy Joe and Nabs bringing the thunder.
And over on the Pilled side out there, just a few guys out there. Willie Break, it gifted the can. Rdoc's on break for a little bit of a while. Woke and walked, gifted the can. Happy Table Titans, God bless. Hulk, Space Shot, Rdoc, Tron, and the whole Foxhole fan. Welcome Walk also threw out 117 gold pills, 1 Thunder gifted the can, and Internet Booth gifted the cookie. We appreciate you guys always coming out. I got a little bit more on Saturday, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. My time for Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern. The Hulk and Space Shot Show, funnies, all those fun things with news and music.
Am I over here playing it? Hopefully I wasn't playing it. I think I may have been playing that song on accident as you were talking. I didn't mean to.
That's okay. I know you don't like me. Tron's already doing his exits over there on that side. So we appreciate you guys.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, I was just loading it in. It kept playing there. But yes, we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And I have a couple of people to thank as well. Jules Patriot dropped the $5 Rumble Rant. Says INS versus CHAPA. It's CHAPHA. Supreme Court case. War Powers Act. Trump can refuse to follow the Congress. Ooh. He might just already be doing that. He very well may already be doing that. And do us a favor, and thank you, Jules Patriot. Do us a favor, guys. Click us the thumbs up on there. Help us get on the leaderboard. Gives us more like-minded folks like you guys and gals out there to talk to. Sorry about that, Wheezy. Yeah, shut it up. It should be off now, though, right? Yeah, it's off. Yeah.
Oh, she's yelling at you in chat?
that was when it was playing earlier, saying, hey, shut it off. I didn't know it was playing, but yeah. And then thank you to earlier D Starboy dropped out 5 subscriptions, and then Rollerbug with reminding me to play the My Dig Is later. So yes, thank you for those guys as well. I'm caught up on my end, Hulk. I will be actually. You know what? Crap. I can't be live tomorrow. I thought I was going to be able to be live at noon, but I can't be. I got to be out of the house. So no show tomorrow. Catch me live with Hulkinator, this guy Hulkinator, on Saturday at 1 p.m. Damn it. What
are you doing? Are you moving in, or what are you doing? I forget what's happening.
Out. No, I got all sorts of things. I got something else to take care of. I forgot, dude. Shit. Shibber. But no. Yeah, so all good here. All good on my end, Hulk. Anybody else you have to thank over there on your side?
No, I'm good over there on that side. Mr. Tron, anything else you want to say? Final thoughts?
Yeah, shout out to Dragonfly Sister. Thank you guys for your support. Wendy Lee, Q the Hammer, Jules Patriot, Lee, Rollerbug, and D-Star Boy. Thank you guys again. And thank you for sharing out the show. And thank you for checking out Space Shot and I and others on Rambo and Friends. Great show today, Thursday afternoon. Go check out that replay. And make sure to hit the repost button on all the Rumble videos on my side to get a chance to win some Tron Try merch over at tronanon.com. We got decals, we got Pepe's, we got Be Best, and Golf of America. Check it out, guys. tronanon.com, giving away stuff this Sunday. Every Sunday, we're giving away at least 2 or 3 of these things. So check it out, and thank you guys for your support. And most importantly, thank you guys for 8+ years of just midnight ridering and just going at it nonstop, 24/7. And we're here to see the finale, right, guys? We're here to see the finale. A few more years to go, and I truly believe we're going to hit the ground running again post-November. That's all we have left. Boss is going to give it all he's got, and we, the people, have to give it all back to him as well. He feeds on our energy, and it works out vice versa. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome, and stay positive. We're almost there. Almost there.
Exactly. Mr. Space Shot?
Yes, and Tron, I just reposted your show, so hopefully I can win something on there as well. So let me know if I win.
Dude, I'll send you gratis. I'll just send me a little.
I almost bought a car from Tron.
Yeah, I told you that 89.
Sign me up,
dude. Yeah,
89.
I'll buy Gap.
Oh God. Let me see. Check us.
They need a warranty.
There you go. I'm reposting Hulks now too. See if I can win something off of him. And I'm clicking thumbs up on all the channels there as well. Even go around and get to Hulk's show, get to Tron show, get to my show. Click on the thumbs up if you could. I'm gonna drop I'm dropping Hulk's link in Tron's show right now, and then I'm gonna be dropping Hulk's link in my show, and then I'm gonna go back and drop Tron's in mine and Tron's in Hulk's. So you guys could do all that. So greatly do appreciate your help. Just click the links and click thumbs up. That's all you got to do. Nice and easy. Nice.
Awesome. Like Space Shot always says.
We do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and don't forget to wait for the next video. Subscribe. That's it. Peace.
Much love. Be good humans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play My Diggers, but I'm going to take the opportunity to take 30 seconds to try to keep my lights on if you guys don't have a problem with that. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we're going to go right on to My Diggers. But otherwise, all right, parents, real talk for a second. America's about to hit a huge milestone. We're coming up on America's 250th birthday. That's 250 years of freedom, grit, sacrifice, and the greatest experiment in self-government the world has ever seen. This is the perfect moment to help your kids understand why the country matters, why this country matters. It's not just about fireworks and hot dogs, but the real story behind it all. There's a free guide called The Kid's Guide to America's 250th Birthday, and it's honestly a great way to introduce kids to how America began, who the founding fathers were, what they risked, and why the ideas they fought for still matter today. This guide sends kids back to the moment when brave men signed the Declaration of Independence, knowing full well they were risking their lives for freedom. And it breaks it down in a way that kids can actually understand and enjoy without watering it down or turning it into boring schoolwork. And if you care about raising kids who know where this country came from and why it's worth preserving, this is something you'll want to grab. And the best part, it's completely free with this special offer. You only need to pay $2 for shipping and handling. Head over to freeusabirthday.com. That's freeusabirthday.com, and the Kid's Guide to America's 250th Birthday for your kids today. America's story matters. Make sure the next generation knows it. All right, guys and gals, and this one here is Macro Tool Breaker, who made a song called My Diggas, D-I-G-G-A-S. I hope you guys enjoy this. Much love. Peace out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We out here digging, never sleep. Flipping the script. Think we'll give up, digger please. We never quit, Joe. Rambo in the field, they spitting facts legit. Matrix code breaker, he don't suffer, he just has it. Stormy Joe and Nabs bringing the thunder. Whole crew full of diggers, yeah, that's my brother. Where we go one, we go all. Digger please, we never fall. Protect your mind, control your emotions. That's the law. Digger, 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 digger. That's my digger. Truth warriors, red pill givers. That's my digger. Joe Rambo moving silent like a ghost in the night. Dave in the house connecting dots like a G. Alright, Matrix code breaker, break the simulation walls. Trying to space shot, dropping knowledge, watch the system fall. JF9 and Sapioplex in the mix. Belushi bringing the fire. Scott Zimmerman with the fix. Yeah, we out here digging. Never sleep, never quit. Never quit, never quit. Where we going, we go all. Stand tall, stand tall. Never fall. Protect your mind, control your emotions. That's the law. All my diggers in the chat dropping bombs on the feed. Research rabbits running while the sheep just scroll and bleed. We connecting all the pieces. No matter what they try, stay sharp in the war. Protect your mind from the noise. Control your emotions. Turn anger into poise. Underground army grinding, making all the noise. We the truth seekers. No cap, all facts. If the truth is out there, bet we digging it back. So raise it up for the squad. Let the normie stay blind. Real eyes realize we one of a kind. Joe Rambo, Dave, Matrix, Tron, Space Shot, Belushi, Stormy Joe, Abs, Scott Z, Patrick in the Wakened Outlaw too. All my diggers worldwide, keeping the truth warm. Where we go one, we go all, forever. That's the call. Yeah, that's my diggers.